and extend assistance in mainstreaming public service. Our institution must continue to stand as one for the values that we have inculcated. For the past 115 years, we have exemplified our quest for truth, excellence, equity, relevance, effectiveness, integrity, and academic freedom. Lastly, I call upon each and everyone to join me in this journey. Together we stand as one para sa sintang paaralan para sa ating bayan. Allow me to share with you my vision for the university. I envision PUP to become the pioneering and leading national polytechnic university in the 21st century. With a national polytechnic university status, it will bring more opportunities for the university to further strengthen its academic programs and improve organizational performance as an institution for higher education. In pursuit for this vision, my mission for PUP is for it to recognize its catalytic role for national development. PUP will ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities through a re-engineered polytechnic education. By re-engineering, we look into the existing processes and programs in order to achieve higher quality of academic programs and services following the principles of effectiveness and efficiency. With this mission in mind, I have formulated 10 pillars as my reform agenda for the university. Pillar 1. Dynamic, transformational, and responsible leadership. Empower academic and administrative leaders by following the core principles of good governance to create collective growth and unity. Here I would like to highlight an innovation by introducing the development of an integrity management plan to assess, plan, and implement anti-corruption strategies that will secure the institution against corruption and abuse. Likewise, asset management and resource generation will be aggressively pursued to ensure productivity and finance the implementation of the plans and projects for the university. Pillar 2. Responsive and innovative curricula and instruction. We aim to provide world-class polytechnic education that responds to national and global needs by developing intellectually challenging curricula and design academic programs that are based on industry demands to provide the learners with adequate and relevant competencies and skills and prepare them for a successful and rewarding careers. In a rapidly changing world, we recognize the paradigm shift in curriculum to outcome-based education with lifelong learning approach. Pillar 2 also sits on the framework of internationalization of Philippine higher education through transnational education by promoting academic mobility among faculty and students and global dimension into the curricula and teaching process. Pillar 3. Enabling and productive learning environment. Following education in Industry 4.0, we aim to increase and enhance the use of new technology to enable student learning and engagement, as well as advanced teaching process and methodology through new and state-of-the-art facilities that will support the overall learning and teaching experience in the university. Pillar 3 likewise includes campus development and the provision of conducive learning centers and facilities for students and faculty. Pillar 4. Holistic student development and engagement. We will empower students as well as rounded learners and active young leaders as we open opportunities for various academic mobility and venues for honing skills and personal development being the principal stakeholder of the university. Recognize academic freedom as a form of self-expression and a platform to showcase students' intellect, skills, and creativity. Pillar 5. Empowered faculty members and employees. Likewise, we are looking into the holistic development of our faculty and employees as productive, competent, and experts in their respective fields. We will encourage our faculty roster through formal education, capacity building, research and extension initiatives, faculty immersion, and other academic engagements, both local and abroad. We will ensure that both our faculty and employees will have a vibrant career development path as public servants in this state university. Pillar 6. Vigorous research production and utilization. We will continue to strengthen the research culture in the university by promoting discovery and innovation through increasing disciplinary and collaborative research integration across academic disciplines to create new knowledge, utilize research findings, and develop innovative products. Pillar 7. Global academic standards and excellence. Achieve the highest levels of recognition in quality and compliance standards from TVET, AACUP, and other international accrediting and regulatory bodies for higher education. We will intensify our efforts to achieve and sustain better academic performance and continue to excel as a top-performing school in various professional licensure examinations and produce board top-notchers, as well as sustain our status of being the most preferred graduates of employers. Likewise, we aim to establish and to be recognized as centers of development and excellence in our academic programs. Pillar 8. Synergistic, productive strategic networks and partnerships. Synergize and forge strategic linkages and partnerships across all sectors of society and the global community in line with the overall plans and programs of the university. Establish alliance with the government, industry sector, NGOs, and the academe will lead to resource sharing, program support, and research collaborations beneficial for all. Pillar 9. Active and sustained stakeholders engagement. Harness a healthy and harmonious organization by empowering all its stakeholders, both internal and external, through open communication networks, consultative and participative undertakings, and team-building activities, recognizing that all stakeholders can greatly contribute towards the betterment of the university. Pillar 10. Sustainable social development programs and projects. Expand access to education, knowledge building, and information dissemination through sharing of expertise and resources for community development. Support inclusivity approach and education by embarking on Education on Wheels, which aims to bring access to education closer to communities, following the principle of no one will be left behind. As the University of the People, we should bring the university closer to their hearts to serve their needs and extend assistance in mainstreaming public service. Our institution must continue to stand as one for the values that we have inculcated. For the past 115 years, we have exemplified our quest for truth, excellence, equity, relevance, effectiveness, integrity, and academic freedom. Lastly, I call upon each and everyone to join me in this journey. Together we stand as one para sa sintang paaralan para sa ating bayan. Allow me to share with you my vision for the university. I envision PUP to become the pioneering and leading national polytechnic university in the 21st century. With a national polytechnic university status, it will bring more opportunities for the university to further strengthen its academic programs and improve organizational performance as an institution for higher education. In pursuit for this vision, my mission for PUP is for it to recognize its catalytic role for national development. PUP will ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities through a re-engineered polytechnic education. By re-engineering, we look into the existing processes and programs in order to achieve higher quality of academic programs and services following the principles of effectiveness and efficiency. With this mission in mind, I have formulated 10 pillars as my reform agenda for the university. Pillar 1. Dynamic, transformational, and responsible leadership. Empower academic and administrative leaders by following the core principles of good governance to create collective growth and unity. Here I would like to highlight an innovation by introducing the development of an integrity management plan to assess, plan, and implement anti-corruption strategies that will secure the institution against corruption and abuse. Likewise, asset management and resource generation will be aggressively pursued to ensure productivity and finance the implementation of the plans and projects for the university. Pillar 2. Responsive and innovative curricula and instruction. We aim to provide world-class polytechnic education that responds to national and global needs by developing intellectually challenging curricula and design academic programs that are based on industry demands to provide the learners with adequate and relevant competencies and skills and prepare them for a successful and rewarding careers. In a rapidly changing world, we recognize the paradigm shift in curriculum to outcome-based education with lifelong learning approach. Pillar 2 also sits on the framework of internationalization of Philippine higher education through transnational education by promoting academic mobility among faculty and students and global dimension into the curricula and teaching process. Pillar 3. Enabling and productive learning environment. Following education in Industry 4.0, we aim to increase and enhance the use of new technology to enable student learning and engagement, as well as advanced teaching process and methodology through new and state-of-the-art facilities that will support the overall learning and teaching experience in the university. Pillar 3 likewise includes campus development and the provision of conducive learning centers and facilities for students and faculty. Pillar 4. Holistic student development and engagement. We will empower students as well as rounded learners and active young leaders as we open opportunities for various academic mobility and venues for honing skills and personal development, being the principal stakeholder of the university. Recognize academic freedom as a form of self-expression and a platform to showcase students' intellect, skills, and creativity. Pillar 5. Empowered faculty members and employees. Likewise, we are looking into the holistic development of our faculty and employees as productive, competent, and experts in their respective fields. We will encourage our faculty roster through formal education, capacity building, research and extension initiatives, faculty immersion, and other academic engagements, both local and abroad. We will ensure that both our faculty and employees will have a vibrant career development path as public servants in this state university. Pillar 6. Vigorous research production and utilization. We will continue to strengthen the research culture in the university by promoting discovery and innovation through increasing disciplinary and collaborative research integration across academic disciplines to create new knowledge, utilize research findings, and develop innovative products. Pillar 7. Global Academic Standards and Excellence. Achieve the highest levels of recognition in quality and compliance standards from TVET, AACUP, and other international accrediting and regulatory bodies for higher education. We will intensify our efforts to achieve and sustain better academic performance and continue to excel as a top-performing school in various professional licensure examinations and produce board top-notchers, as well as sustain our status of being the most preferred graduates of employers. Likewise, we aim to establish and to be recognized as centers of development and excellence in our academic programs. Pillar 8. Synergistic, productive, strategic networks and partnerships. Synergize and forge strategic linkages and partnerships across all sectors of society and the global community in line with the overall plans and programs of the university. Establish alliance with the government, industry sector, NGOs, and the academe will lead to resource sharing, program support, and research collaborations beneficial for all. Pillar 9. Active and sustained stakeholders engagement. Harness a healthy and harmonious organization by empowering all its stakeholders, both internal and external, through open communication networks, consultative and participative undertakings, and team-building activities, recognizing that all stakeholders can greatly contribute towards the betterment of the university. Pillar 10. Sustainable social development programs and projects. Expand access to education, knowledge building, and information dissemination through sharing of expertise and resources for community development. Support inclusivity approach and education by embarking on Education on Wheels, which aims to bring access to education closer to communities, following the principle of no one will be left behind. As the University of the People, we should bring the university closer to their hearts to serve their needs and extend assistance in mainstreaming public service. Our institution must continue to stand as one for the values that we have inculcated. For the past 115 years, we have exemplified our quest for truth, excellence, equity, relevance, effectiveness, integrity, and academic freedom. Lastly, I call upon each and everyone to join me in this journey. Together we stand as one para sa sintang paaralan para sa ating bayan.
Good afternoon. Naririnig na naman po pala. Okay. Sa ating pong technical, ma'am, naka-co-host na po si Attorney Alvero.
Yes, ma'am, noted po.
Attorney. Ayan, may permission na po. Good afternoon. Good
Hi,
afternoon again,
good afternoon po.
everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Okay, so before we start our continuation for this afternoon session, again, we would like to remind everyone regarding our house rules. Okay. So again, please, I would like you to set your mute mode, all microphones turn off, and your video. I hope you have a good internet connection. And again, your full name. Can you please indicate for all our participants your full name, your course or the department? Eventually, later after the presentation, you can post your question in YouTube comment box and Zoom chat box. Okay? And lastly, yun pong ating evaluation list will be posted after the session. So after this presentation, meron pa po tayo next resource speaker. Okay? Yan. Maraming salamat po sa ating house rules. Okay, we can begin now. I would like to introduce to you our resource speaker from Emerson Philippines, providing innovation that makes the world healthier, safer, smarter, and more sustainable. Ayan po ang Emerson. So from Emerson, our resource speaker, he is an Emerson Philippine Council, leading the practice areas of employment law, data privacy and protection, and corporate compliance. He is a member of Emerson Philippines STEM Committee. And in 2021, he will likewise assume the post of Asia Pacific World Area Lead in Emerson's LGBT plus Allies Employees Resource Group. And aside from that, he has given extensive legal training and education, which he devotes free time of his personal advocacies. He was a legal resource person also in the roundtable discussion sponsored by Philippine AIDS Society in the crafting of transgender health framework in the Philippines. In 2019, he represented his paper entitled Negotiating Identity and Seeking Safe Spaces, the Philippine Legal Vacuum, and the Immigration of Transgender Filipino Women at the New York University Shanghai 2019 Annual Conference at Shanghai, China. He likewise facilitated a forum on making workplace inclusive, sponsored by Philippine Financial and Inter-Industry Pride in June 2020. He co-moderated ICU, Building Allyship and Gender Inclusive Vision, held in partnership with Erasmus Mundus Association, Women Oceans Network, and the Global Gender and Cultures of Equality, and sponsored by Spark Philippines, the Austrian Embassy in Manila, and Campus Erasmus Mundus. In June 2021, he also co-paneled for Shout LGBTQ Advocacy in the Workplace, sponsored by Human Resource and Marketing Magazine of Lighthouse Independent Media based in Hong Kong. He is also a published writer. His poems and translations were previously published in Sunday Inquirer magazine, Voice and Verse Poetry in Hong Kong, Bicol Bakla, Queer, South Asia Quarterly Literary Review Singapore, Katitikan, Literary Journal of the Philippine South, and Bind, a digital platform in the United Kingdom for creative work examining ecology, the environment, and natural world. His works will likewise appear in forthcoming issues of Ilahas, an online publication in the Philippines, Consequences Forum in Houston, Texas, and Rabbit Poetry Journal in Melbourne, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, to our students and all participants, let me welcome Attorney Leo Ray Almero. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. The photo in the slide is a photo from 2019 when I attended an event of PFIP. So just a couple of weeks ago, I had to shave my head because it was very long already, and I could not go out and go to a barber shop. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, PUP Institute of Technology, for inviting me to talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion in Emerson Philippines. Um, Let me share my screen. Wait. All right. Can you see the slide being presented already?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the invitation actually for me was to talk about women in STEM, which is one of the employee resource groups that we have in Emerson, Manila. But I was thinking when I was preparing the slides for this afternoon's discussion that I think it would be better to talk more about diversity, equity, and inclusion and how we do it in Emerson. But of course, I will be touching on women in STEM later on as we go along in our discussion on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this is how we do it in Emerson. But first, let me introduce you. Who is Emerson? Um, Based on our brand promise is actually where technology and engineering come together to create solutions for the benefit of our customers, driven without compromise for a world in action. So we are in the business of providing innovative solutions to customers in the industrial, commercial, and residential markets. And if you look at Emerson at a glance, this is what you will see. We are actually a quite old company worldwide. The company was founded in 1890. The headquarters is in St. Louis, Missouri, USA. Worldwide, we have 83,500 employees with 200 manufacturing locations across the globe. So we have two business platforms. The first one is automation solutions, and the second one is commercial and residential solutions. I'll be talking more about these two business platforms so that the students in this call will be able to at least get an idea what we do in Emerson in the Philippines and globally as well. So it's actually a Fortune 500 companies with innovation, with 20,000 active patents worldwide in 2020. And in 2020, we have been recognized as well as part of the top 50 employers for women in Women Engineers magazine and best employers for diversity in Forbes magazine, as well as Industrial IoT Company of the Year in IoT Breakthrough. So that gives you more or less a little bit of idea on what Emerson is and how it really promotes diversity, equity, and inclusion um, globally. So let me talk about a little bit about automation solutions, one of the platforms in Emerson. Emerson Automation Solution focuses on improving processes in industrial manufacturing performance. Our automation expertise actually from projects to operations is focused on helping organizations hit their targets through technologies that advance productivity, efficiency, and safety. So you have brands like Plantwell, Delta V, Rosemount, Aventix, Branson, and a lot more in automation solutions. And in automation solutions, especially the group doing their work here in the Philippines, we have IT people, engineers, people in business development as well. For commercial and residential solutions, uh, this business platform actually offer innovative products, systems, and services that help improve people's lives, ensuring human comfort and health, protecting food quality and safety, and advancing energy efficiency and creating sustainable infrastructure. So kung yung automation solutions focus on industries, commercial and residential solutions provide solutions naman in construction, commercial buildings, food retail. And we offer state-of-the-art compressors, condensing units, heat exchangers, and related systems and components. So we have brands such as Copeland, Greenlee, Incinerator, Rigid, Sensi, among others. Actually, Rigid has quite a big presence in the Philippines that a few days ago, Rigid was part of the 99 sale in Lazada and Shopee. I'm not sure if you've seen that, but it's actually one of the brands from commercial and residential solutions in the Philippines that has more what they call this recall for people. Now let me talk about Emerson Philippines. Emerson Philippines acts as a major hub for One Emerson capabilities. So in the Philippines, we play a strategic role in supporting global and regional functions for the company and its customers in the fields ranging from accounting, analytics, customer support, engineering, finance, information technology, human resources, marketing, business development, and supply chain management. In fact, we have a lot of engineers as well in supply chain management. Our over 3,000 employees are housed in two facilities that offer a modernized, full service, best location that manages back office and customer focused activities. So one of our sites is in Quezon City. That's actually where I am based. If you see this one with color blue light, the one with the picture of the night, that's Emerson Regional Operating Headquarters. That's the one based in Quezon City in front of SM North. And the other one is Systems and Solutions, which is based in Ortigas in Cyberscape Alpha. Yun. So now that you have a little bit of idea on what we do in Emerson, let's discuss the best practices that we have in Emerson. I've been looking into this for the past few days when I was invited by Joe to give a talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And when I was looking at our what we do in Emerson, I kind of put it into three best practices. The first one is providing equal opportunity. The second one is fostering an inclusive space. And of course, the last one is empowering and capability building for our employees. So let's go discuss providing equal opportunity. With this, let me tell you a little bit of story about myself, because that I hopefully this will be able to help you or give you an idea how we provide equal opportunity in Emerson. So this one was a photo taken in June when I was paneling for the Shout conference, which was sponsored by Human Resources and Marketing Magazine. So let me tell you my story. I'll be telling you two stories, short lang. The first one is about me, and another one is about a colleague. When I joined Emerson, I was actually what do you call this? A little bit apprehensive because it's a Fortune 500 company, and while I've been in practice for many years already, I come from a provincial law school. I graduated from the University of Nueva Cáceres in Naga City. So when I applied, I thought I had no chance. But I just submitted because I heard that Emerson is an equal opportunity employer. So I went through the process of, going through the recruitment process, the interviews and all. And it was a very pleasant interview for me, um, not just because I got the job, obviously, but the way that our recruiters handled the recruitment process was quite easy. They were very approachable. I did not feel any judgment that I came from a provincial law school, that I came from a law firm that's not very big in Manila. I came from small to medium sized law firm at that time. So it was really interesting for me to find out that one of the focuses of Emerson when I was interviewing was diversity and inclusion. So that really stuck with me when I was interviewing because it shows that the company cared. And I've seen that from the time that I joined Emerson, I've seen how they cared for our employees, especially now that we are currently in the pandemic, right? We have provided well-being seminars as well. We have provided the necessary tools for our employees to ensure that they be able to work as much as possible at their homes. We've been given the opportunity to work from home, which was previously, before the pandemic, something that we cannot really conceive, right? Primarily, you can only work from home for just a day before being required to work on site. But Emerson allowed us to work from home. And also, I want to talk about Sandy Noche. Sandy Noche is a senior supply chain analytics leader based in Manila and passionate about supporting women in STEM and closing the gender gap in STEM related fields. He has led several initiatives to help women in their careers, including online soft skills in cooperation with the International Labor Organization. So we'll be discussing more about women in STEM later. Um, and the soft skills training that we have in collaboration with the ILO is focused on creative thinking and empowering women to meet their career goals. And Sandy was also featured in a podcast focused on encouraging youth to pursue STEM careers and often volunteers at career fairs at local universities to highlight opportunities to the next generation of innovators. And Sandy believes that promoting gender equality in the workplace will play a critical role in supporting women and building stronger communities and a better world in the years to come. I am talking about Sandy because she's been helping Emerson Manila promote women in STEM. In fact, the photo here that I'm showing you comes from the first environmental and sustainability and governance update that Emerson released globally in, I think, June or July this year. So he was the only one featured from Emerson Manila. Aside from the ERGs, he was the only individual featured in the ESG report of Emerson. So that means that the focus of Emerson is really in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it says here, Emerson employees making an impact because Sandy has been making an impact promoting women in STEM. In fact, because of our goal, our drive, and our value of supporting our people, we have been, Emerson Manila has been part or was considered as part of the top 100 graduate employers of 2021. And this was released, I think, in May or June this year. And Emerson is proud to be part of the Grad Philippines top 100 graduate employers in the Philippines, a ranking that awards companies who hire early career talent. So we have as an equal opportunity employer, we welcome everyone, even fresh grads, to apply to our positions, which are open, and which you can see on LinkedIn and JobStreet, and even in Facebook now, because we have Emerson Manila on Facebook now. And this is just a little bit of discussion on diversity and inclusion and equal opportunity in Emerson. So, as an organization that thrives in innovation, since as you saw a while ago, Emerson is actually a technology and engineering services company that also goes into manufacturing. We have 200 manufacturing plants all over the world. So it is an organization that thrives in innovation. It is critical, of course, that we support the diversity of our people and embrace inclusion within the organization. And we take pride in the people who make Emerson great. We believe that bringing together bright, enthusiastic, and talented people from a variety of backgrounds and cultures promotes the birth of new ideas and exciting energy level. We promote an environment where, of course, where everyone can contribute and succeed at all levels of our business. We support our people in any way and every way we can so they can see and feel that everyone is heard and valued. And at Emerson, of course, we are committed to fostering culture where every employee is valued and respected for their experiences and perspectives. In fact, in Emerson, we have created a lot of ERGs across the world. For example, in the Americas, we have different employee resource groups promoting the diversity of Latin Americans, Black Americans,
Hello, good
veterans.
afternoon there.
Hi, good afternoon. I don't know who was speaking, but I'll continue. All right. So we have ERGs for Latin Americans, veterans as well. Of course, we have ERGs for LGBT across the world. In fact, in October 2021, I'll be assuming the position of um, Asia Pacific World Area Lead for LGBT plus allies. So this also will help us in Emerson Philippines expand our tie-ups with other ERGs, not just the LGBT, but also women in STEM. And I'll be discussing how we collaborate with women in STEM also later on. And in the Philippines, our primary ERGs are actually women in STEM, women in engineering, and LGBT plus allies. So this shows the diversity, how we consider or how we value diversity in Emerson. And this philosophy is fundamental to living our company values and our responsibility to leave the world in a better place. And in this case, we have three pillars for our D&I framework: our people, our culture, and our communities. So it says here that we are committed to increasing diversity in our workforce and inclusion in our work environment. And we are committed to creating a workplace culture where all employees feel empowered and reach their full potential. So we do this by ensuring that they get the necessary technical skills and soft skills as well. And aside from that, For our communities, we seek to support and work with others outside the organization who share our commitment to promoting diversity and inclusiveness in the broader society. And this matters because this encourages innovative thinking. This enables us to better understand customers and trends and attracts and retains a broad collection of diverse and top talent. Yun. So for Emerson on diversity and inclusion naman, globally, we consistently foster a culture where every employee is valued and respected. To be able to do this, we do so consistency by increasing the diversity of our workforce. So part of uh part of making sure that there is diversity in our workforce is ensuring that our leaders and our employees undergo unconscious bias trainings as well, because unconscious bias trainings are necessary from not only while you're working in Emerson, but also at the start of talent acquisition. So we train our leaders to ensure that they know their conscious bias, that they have to manage their conscious bias, because we have to make sure that everyone has equal opportunity to succeed in the organization, to join the organization, and to succeed in the organization. And we do this also by creating and sustaining a workplace culture where all employees feel empowered. And as I mentioned a while ago, we seek outside support and work also with other outside organizations. So an example of this would be the organizations which Women in STEM and our STEM committee has tie-ups with. So I'll be discussing that later when we go into Women in STEM. Now, for fostering an inclusive space, this is one of the things that we have to understand as well, because we cannot nurture an inclusive space without ensuring the diversity of our organization. So we do this by ensuring that we support a diverse and inclusive work environment, contributing to the rich exchange of ideas, inspiring innovation, and bringing the best solutions to our customers. And this is something that we are committed across markets and business groups worldwide. In Asia, the Philippines is actually one of the more aggressive markets that promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace. We have formed several employee resource groups that lead and sustain these initiatives. So just an overview of the DNI initiatives here in Emerson. As I mentioned, we have 3 employee resource groups: Women in STEM, Women in Engineering, and LGBTQ plus allies. We also have partnerships outside the organization to ensure collaboration, especially for STEM related activities. We have partnerships with Unilab Foundation, Women Inter-Industry Network, the Philippine Financial and Inter-Industry Pride, the ILO, which helps us provide the necessary soft skills for women in STEM and women in engineering, Girl Scouts of the Philippines, and the Department of Science and Technology. And for our corporate social responsibility initiatives, you also have scholarship program in partnership with AmSam. We have adapted schools like Barangay Bungad Elementary School and Judge Juan Luna High School. We also have Duyan Foundation and Home for the Golden Gays are the CSR initiatives naman of the LGBTQ plus allies ERG. And of course, we have Unilab Foundation's Project Inclusion. And I am proud to say that in Emerson, we are a safe space. In fact, as part of the human resources, I have what do you call this? I have designed several trainings to ensure having a safe space in Emerson. So that includes safe spaces training as well as anti-sexual harassment trainings in the organization, because we want to ensure that even while you're working, you have a peace of mind as well. Because when you have a peace of mind of working, you have a safe space. And in this case, we always remind our employees that our work site, whether that would be physical and virtual, which is now what we are doing temporarily because of the pandemic, that it is a safe space for everyone. Now let's go to empowering and capability building. And in this discussion, I'll be talking about women in STEM particularly. So I'm gonna shift my focus because I have two screens here and I cannot read the small screen right now. So it says here that for women in STEM, our mission is to attract, develop, and retain the best women in roles related to science, technology, engineering, and math. So that's STEM, to enhance diversity of ideas and approaches for the benefit of our customers to fully deliver on our consider it solved promise. So how do we do this? How do we attract, develop, and retain the best women in roles related to STEM. The first one is ensuring that we inspire girls to pursue STEM subjects and careers. That's why we also tied up with organizations outside Emerson to ensure that STEM is promoted even outside Emerson. We attract the best women in STEM to Emerson. In fact, if you look at it, Emerson Manila is one of the Emerson organizations that has actually a lot of women in leadership roles and more women in the organization. We develop also by providing an environment and opportunities to develop leadership skills, and we elevate visibility for women in STEM-related activities and STEM-related roles by providing networking opportunities and leadership roles within the Women in STEM organization. And we retain by ensuring that we create an inclusive, connected community where women in STEM feel supported and a sense of belonging throughout the organization. And of course, we provide a platform to highlight women in STEM as role models across One Emerson. And in Women in STEM, we make sure that we improve ourselves and the communities we live in. So Women in STEM members develop their skills and support their community in the following areas: youth outreach, university outreach, social networking, and professional development. As I mentioned a while ago, we do provide the necessary technical skills training for everyone in the organization, but we focus also more on women in STEM. So that means that we provide not just technical skills, but also soft skills, and of course, the necessary opportunity to network and to reach out to the youth, to reach out to your alma mater so that you can also encourage them to go into STEM learning. And of course, professional development is very important. And just a short overview of what we do in STEM here in Emerson, Manila, the following were our FY21 activities. So these were the activities that we did this year. We started the year with youth outreach. This was done in January 2021. This was a virtual conference, the second integrated STEM leadership summit in Asia. We also had university outreach. We have university partnership and scholar programs. So that's continuing. As I mentioned, we ranked number 28 in the top 100 graduate employers in the Philippines. And we have also partnered with other schools for their university virtual career fair. So this was with DIP, FEU, and UST. In fact, pre-pandemic, we even joined university career fairs as far as Batangas. So um, so long as the universities invite us and that's something that can be done when we submit the necessary documents, then we can assist you in the university career fair if you want to have that as well. And of course, for social networking, we are very much in connection with STEM leadership, STEM Leadership Alliance Philippines. So we do attend the leadership quarterly meetings, and we ensure that we also participate in accelerating women's advancement in STEM and the Asia Foundation. And starting this June, we will be doing the National STEM Quiz Bee. So Emerson is one of the partners of STEM Bee, the National STEM Quiz Bee. And also, as you can see, I've mentioned Sandy Noche a while ago. He was the only one featured in Emerson Manila in in Emerson's 2020 Environmental, Social, and Governance Report, which highlighted or put a focus on Emerson Manila's work on women in STEM. And of course, starting in July to August 2021, there were a number of trainings as well. This was virtual learning sessions with International Labor Organization and in business training program. And we also partner with another organization for the I Am Remarkable workshop to ensure that, we show that women are actually remarkable so that they will have this confidence to do better and to step up and to be visible in the organization. And of course, for professional development, this is just a short, rundown of what we do. Aside from the technical skills that Emerson provides to its employees, we do have soft skill modules in creative thinking, critical thinking, and training of facilitators. And of course, our facilitators are actually women engineers themselves and also come from the Human Resources Department. So participants from members of PRISM and virtual interest groups also exchange and collaborate ideas to ensure that there is continuous learning in Emerson. And just recently, after the in business training program, we now have 12 new peer facilitators that can also transfer what they've learned to other people who want to learn about these soft skills. So this is how we empower people in Emerson. Yeah. So that would be my presentation on the best practices that we do in Emerson. Do you have questions po ba?
Sir, meron pa po tayong following presentation po, di ba? So, later na lang po yung ating mga questions.
Okay, sige po.
Thank you. Sa ating po mga participants, if you have any questions, you can post na lang po doon sa ating YouTube channel chat box and saka sa ating po Zoom chat box. Sir, Attorney Albero, good afternoon.
Yes po, good
Yan.
afternoon.
Yan. Welcome po sa PUP, Institute of Technology. Wala pala akong video, I'm sorry. Yan, para makita niyo po. Yan. Hi, sir. Welcome this
Hi, ma'am.
afternoon.
Thank you for
Ah.
inviting me po.
Thank you po for accepting the invitation. Kahit napakarami pong work sa Emerson. Though, may mga na-mention po kayo dito, yung mga unconscious bias. Can you elaborate po how does it happen in the workplace para maintindihan po ng bata?
Oo.
Thank you.
Kasi 'di ba, I'll try to explain this as much as I can. Hindi kasi ako trainer for unconscious bias training, but I went through a number of unconscious bias trainings myself. Usually kasi as people, we really grow up with different biases, 'di ba? One of the things that we have as bias, yung naririnig natin yung mga accent, 'di ba? Yung maririnig natin na ay, probinsyano to si kuya, ay, probinsyano to si ate. So that's one unconscious bias, 'di ba, na you kind of dismiss someone just because you can sense an accent, you can hear an accent from that person, 'di ba? So that's one of those things. Siguro so tinitingnan natin na um, yung mga biases kasi natin, minsan hindi natin alam nandun siya. 'Di ba sometimes sumalabas siya sa mga biro-biro. For example, yun nga parang ay Bisaya, ay Bicolano, parang ganun. Ay Ilocano, to Koripo to. That's a bias also because of how we grow up, 'di ba? Pero in the workplace kasi it can translate into something else. A good example of this is something that I remember from the unconscious bias training that I had as well. Yung tipong just because of the name of the applicant, minsan hindi mo na kino-consider yung resume, 'di ba? There was a study, I think this was conducted in the US, na parang kapag nakita mo na yung pangalan ng applicant sounds like an exotic name, parang yung pakiramdam ng mga recruiter, ay kaya ba nito yung position, 'di ba? May mga ganon na nangyayari. So ang based on sa studies conducted, when they remove the names, parang ginawa na lang siya, parang tinanggal yung mga magko-cause ng unconscious bias. Siya, napansin na mas lumitaw yung mga candidates based on their capabilities na. Kasi sometimes you do get unconscious biases, diba? So the trainings that we provide actually for our leaders is something that will help them know that they have their biases and to kumbaga make it conscious para alam mo na ay teka, dapat wala akong bias kasi dahil may unconscious bias ka at pag nakita mo na when you make your biases conscious, you tend to make sure na okay, stop your biases and make sure that you look at everyone with equal opportunity. Even gender can give biases, di ba? Ano ba yung mga naririnig natin when it comes to women in STEM? Kaya ba ng babae ang STEM, ang science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? When in fact, wala namang ano doon, wala dapat biases against women going into STEM-related activities or industries, di ba? So that's, kumbaga, sabi ng isang ano namin, sabi ng senior manager namin for learning and development in Emerson, we make sure na mabuti yung ano, yung mga trainings natin, ginagawa nating mabuti yung mga Emerson people and also malupit. So mabuti at malupit. Parang ganun yung ginagawa natin. We empower them, we build their capabilities, but we also make sure that they relate with other people properly and professionally. So yun yung ginagawa natin. So I don't know the entire content of um, trainings in Emerson, pero we do have a number of trainings that help our employees and our leaders also to ensure that the biases will not affect how they gauge, say, applicants or how they assess the performance of their team members. So yung perspective natin is make sure na what you do is really how you will be assessed, not because of the color of your skin, not because of your, for example, your sexuality, or not because of your gender, whether you're a woman or not, di ba? Kasi merong mga ganun na mga uh, biases na nangyayari. Naka-mute po kayo, ma'am.
Thank you po for the elaboration on unconscious biases. And meron pa po kayo na i-mention, this is very important about gender equality, yung safe
Mm-mm.
space.
Yes, opo. Kasi syempre, in safe spaces kasi 'di ba, sandali lang po maghahanap ako ng konting notes kasi mas magandang may notes tayo pag ano. I just prepared kasi for the diversity and inclusion, but I can't share it, but I think I'll be able to read something about it.
Kasi as we understand, safe spaces, sir, is giving the opportunity for every yung pong orientation po natin, and
Mm-mm.
individual preferred orientation, whether kung gusto mo maging uh,
Mm-mm.
feminine or masculine, yung mga
Mm-mm.
bata na nakikinig dyan. We are now
Mm-mm.
talking about
Y-
gender inequality.
Yes. Kasi if we promote a safe space kasi, this is very important kasi halimbawa for Emerson, one of our foundational value is really support our people. So we are really committed na to cultivate nga yung positive and inclusive culture para mag-thrive yung mga employees namin. And we do this by, syempre, ensuring na yung work environment centered siya sa mutual respect, diba? For the rights and responsibilities of every individual. And yung safe spaces, siguro naririnig nyo yung ano, 'di ba? Yung safe spaces law, yung bawal bastos law. That's actually that actually helps kasi if you just look at it, it's really just ensuring that every person respect each other, 'di ba? So yun yung pinaka-importante doon. And safe spaces really provide a break from judgment and unsolicited opinions. And of course, having to explain yourself, 'di ba? It allows people to feel supported and respected. Kasi if there is a break from judgment, sabihin na natin na you got hired. Sabihin na natin kahit na not in Emerson, but some other company, you are the best in your class, di ba? You graduated with honors, tapos you ranked high pa sa board exams. You're already an engineer, tapos you get hired. Tapos when you join the organization, you're the first woman to be hired for that position. Siyempre yung dynamic ng group, yung team na papasukan mo, might not be something that you will be comfortable with. And hindi naman natin maalis yun. Dahil nga, sabi ko kanina, di ba, when we were discussing unconscious bias, there is diversity of perspectives. So kung ano man yung mga biases mo, ay panglalaking profession lang to, yung engineering, ay panlalaking profession lang to, yung information technology. But when someone gets in, say a woman, or sabihin na natin LGBT, pagdating doon sa team mo, paano ka mag-react? So ang perspective natin is, it shouldn't matter because you're there to help each other out in your work, whether or not you're a woman, you have to be respected. Whether or not you're LGBT, you have to be respected as well. So ensuring a safe space kasi, sabi ko nga kanina, it allows us break from judgment. 'Di ba? Yung mga, ay, ikaw lang yung babae dito sa grupo namin. So ikaw yung ititis namin palagi. So that provides a break, 'di ba? Kasi kapag conscious yung mga teammates mo na there should be mutual respect. I will respect you because you are good in what you do. I respect you not because I have to na parang ano yung tawag doon. I will have to respect you just because you are a person that I have to respect, 'di ba? No matter your gender, no matter your sexuality, for example, no matter your religion also. Kasi sometimes nag-ano rin yan nag-intersect din yung concerns ng yung babae dapat nasa bahay lang, 'di ba? Mag-aalaga ng bata, may mga ganon. So that's a bias as well. So, o kaya naman sabihin natin na yung mga babae dapat nasa finance lang. And that's not the case. In fact, marami rin kaming guys sa corporate finance, and also in one of our groups, which is the global financial services. So it's really a diverse culture. So hindi mo dapat kinakahon yung mga tao just because of their gender, 'di ba? You allow people, you empower people to do what they want, and to do the best in what they want to do, 'di ba? Yun. So no matter their gender, no matter their beliefs. Yun po. I hope I was able to answer your question, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Maganda po yung
Mm-mm.
pagkaka-explain po. And pasensya na po, isa pa po. Kasi since we are talking about the safe space again, it is included also on this topic, sir, diba? If I can inject on
Sige
something,
po.
yung sexual harassment that is happening in the workplace. Now,
Mm-mm.
ang dating sexual harassment law na lalaman natin is yung there must be a superior and moral ascendancy
Yes.
ng oppressor dun sa
Yes.
kanyang na-offend. Okay, but now, meron na dahil sa SOGI,
Mm-mm.
na bago na. So, kahit classmate mo or yung mismong estudyante sa
Mm-mm.
professor or yung subordinate to the supervisor, pwede na ganong alternating. So
Mm-mm.
in your workplace, or how do you see that yung social identity is well respected po talaga?
Mm-mm. Yung safe spaces, actually, that's very important, especially yung safe spaces law. As I mentioned a while ago, I designed a module to help our employees understand it, and we have created also we designed a training for people managers as well to navigate that. I want to say that's a new law, pero that should have been the case naman even before pa, even without the law itself. I think this was passed in, I think, 2017 ba or 2018. So kahit na very recent lang siya, the mutual respect included in the safe spaces law, and which is what we also have in our safe spaces policy in Emerson, is something that should have been kumbaga exercised by people, 'di ba? Yung mutual respect. And tama po kayo na before merong tinatawag na requirement na moral ascendancy. Yung pwede lang mag-commit ng sexual harassment would be someone who is above you, 'di ba? Kasi may idea ng authority being abused pagdating sa sexual harassment. But with violations under the safe spaces law, nagko-cover kasi yun ng lahat ng possible discrimination, whether committed by someone below you, someone who is your colleague, in the school setup, also between classmates, 'di ba, or against your teacher, you committed that against your teacher. So yung dynamic na is really, you should respect someone, hindi na because nasa position of authority ka, siya lang yung posibleng magkaroon ng violation. Because of the safe spaces law, yun nga, siguro just to give you an idea on why it's called safe spaces and based on how I understand it. Yung safe space kasi, parang this is the intangible space surrounding you sa sarili mo, di ba? Anong tawag doon? May mga instances kasi na when you're working or say in the university when you're studying, na I think familiar naman kayo dun sa idea ng someone is invading my space, my personal space, di ba? Sometimes it's just really dahil ginugulo ka lang while you're working or while you're studying. But sometimes it goes beyond just really annoying you, but really disrespecting you. So kasama po yun. May concept ng SOGI sa Safe Spaces Law natin ngayon, which is sexual orientation, gender identity and expression. Hindi pa po ito yung SOGI bill na gustong ipasa talaga para magkaroon ng protection for the LGBT in the Philippines. But the Safe Spaces Act provides limited protection. Yung respect lang, kumbaga respetuhin mo yung SOGI ng ibang tao kahit hindi siya nagbibigay ng additional protections to the LGBTQ community.
Yes, sir. Napakaganda ng inyo pong explain sa aming lahat. Yan. So, dito po for our audience, if you have question for the resource speaker about women on STEM or anything, kaya mapapansin niyo po talaga, if you will analyze, diversity is really connected with gender and development. Kasi the environment must develop, 'di ba po? Kasama po yung gender and development, yung equality. And then yung pag pinasok po natin to sa organization, then ma-absorb niya na po yung idea of diversity. Kasi we need to respect each and everyone's idea, culture, yung ways. Parang meron pa ako naalala, Attorney Almero yung pag nag-dress ka, ba't ka in ordinary day, papasok ka sa office mo, nagdamit ka ng barong o saya. They're not accustomed that you are going to wear this clothing. So, do you need to explain yourself? Maglalagay ka ng ID or explanation na cardboard na I'm wearing this kasi galing ako sa ganitong function. Diba? Yun yung safe space or you can express your self-expression. May freedom of expression tayo that we are not also offending our or other people doon sa area or sa space organization, or we are not doing any illegal act. So we can do that na hindi naman ibig sabihin parang lumalayo ka doon sa norms ng inyong office, ng nakagawian, but yung changes in one way is you're challenging na maka-adapt. You have the capability to adapt this new environment. Yan. So, yun po rin yung idea namin sa gender and development. And parang ang ganda-ganda po ng environment ng Emerson na pinakita po ninyo that there you have the people, culture, and community that you are taking care of for your organization. Kaya, pwede po ba kung mag-apply yung mga estudyante namin dyan?
Ay, opo. Oo naman po. Actually po, just recently, we launched the Emerson Manila Facebook page. So, ni-request po namin yon sa Emerson Global. So kasi ngayon, yung kabataan talaga nasa Facebook, di ba? So, they can really see there. We're very active in social media now, pati po sa LinkedIn. Ang ano lang naman po kasi, siguro just to add doon sa sinabi niyo, ma'am, doon sa gender and development. Kasi we have to look at it two ways Yung how gender and development connects and how we should develop gender yung thinking natin regarding gender kasi sabi ko nga it really boils down to just respect, diba? Yung mutual respect for each and everyone because no matter who you are, no matter what your beliefs, no matter your gender, it shouldn't matter. You should be allowed to pursue what you want, to be successful in what you want. And in fact, there has been studies showing that having a diverse culture can actually increase, kumbaga, para sa mga companies, kasi sa mga companies usually tinitingnan yung profits, diba? Having a diverse culture can actually increase the profits of the company because having a diverse culture makes the employee feel more safe, to be more vocal about innovations. And syempre because of that, mas nagiging responsive yung mga employees sa mga customers naman. So talagang nakakatulong po yung diversity and inclusion. Kaya actually um, may nakita akong comment dito na even when you're newly hired, may mga discrimination, di ba? When it comes to colleagues or superiors, whether in private or government. We are really doing our best, not just in Emerson, to ensure na yung visibility ng women will be there, 'di ba? So internally we do that. We really want to make sure that um, our colleagues who are women, especially those who are women in STEM and in engineering, gets the necessary professional development to further their career growth. Pero outside, yun nga, sabi namin may mga partnerships kami outside the organization kasi we want to promote even little girls can already go into STEM as early as in grade schools, 'di ba? Actually less attrition rate 'yon, and syempre hindi kasi may aside from retaining them, every time that you hire, you get more costs, 'di ba, for attrition talaga tapos training, 'di ba? So that's why ang goal namin is attract tapos may kasamang retain, 'di ba? Attract, develop, and retain. Kasi even if you develop them tapos you don't provide the necessary space for them, safe space for them, and the necessary innovative space siguro, if we can say that, for them to really grow, yung retention mahirap din. So kailangan proactive po talaga tayo pagdating sa sa gender development and also gender and development. Kasi kailangan maintindihan natin na na gender shouldn't matter at all when it comes to what you want to do, 'di ba? Even how you express yourselves. We know women who can be as kikay as possible, that they're very, kumaga sila yung pinakamalupit na scientists that we have. And naman talaga siya, that's fairly common, 'di ba? And we also have women who doesn't also look into what you call this on their looks, diba? Gusto nila lang relaxed yung yung pananamit nila, and that's okay too, wala namang problem yun, diba? It's really how you want to further yourself and how to develop yourself professionally, diba? Yun yung pinaka-importante. Whether you express your womanhood differently, that doesn't matter, 'di ba? Ang pinaka-importante is we empower women to succeed. Yun yung pinaka-importante.
Maliligo na ako. Ito
Sir, meron din po rito. Senior sa atin si Ma'am Ruby Mendoza. Actually, she will be our resource speaker tomorrow. Hello, Ma'am Ruby. Good afternoon. Ang sabi nga po niya rito is lesser attrition rate in effect, lesser cost on hiring and training. Meron siyang sinasuggest nga po yung lactation room for women. Simple example for safe space. Yes, maganda po talaga yun. And we have just conducted yung last training po namin for gender inequality. Yun nga po, meron din po kami sa PUP. We respect din po. Meron din po kaming cooperation pag nanganganak na po yung mga aming co-employees na babae, and then they're coming back to work sa office, magpa-pump na yan for breastfeeding. So, hindi naman sila makakapag-breastfeed sa office. So, sa ref, mapupunta ang mga milk. Yan, yung mga pinoprovide po nila namin. Matter of safe space na binibigay at kino-contribute din po sa kanila. Ayan. Thank you very much po.
Actually, yung ganyan po yung sa lactation room. If you look at it, it's 'di ba? Parang bakit nandiyan yan? But that's food. That's the baby's food. Why are you saying that? 'Di ba? May mga ganun kasing ba't merong may milk may breast milk sa ref. But that's just the baby's food. So why are you fretting about it? 'Di ba? Kaya kailangan yung gender development talaga, aside from gender and development, kasi people has to understand that this is some of these things are just the natural way of doing it, 'di ba? Very important pa naman yung breast milk for newborns, 'di ba? That's even our government, the Department of Health, really is encouraging new moms to breast milk, 'di ba? Yun yung pinaka-importante para daw para yung immunity tapos yung health would be there. So people has to just understand na aside from the fact that you just have to respect women and help them work, 'di ba? In a safe space. that's just part of it. That's just part of rearing a child, di ba? Or making sure that the baby grows to be healthy and strong. Yun, yun yung importante.
Sir, paano naman po yung yung mga, uh, for example, how do you address or call yung colleague? How do you address kung siya ay gay or lesbian or
Mm-mm.
yung mga things na ganun? How do you call him at work? Kung if
Mm-mm.
it's not, what should be the proper way to address the people, yung mga ganitong pong may orientation and preferences, yung social identity nila, yung hindi naman po masyadong insensitive,
Mm-mm.
lalo na ako kasi minsan may kausap ka, director, vice president, alam mo, it really shows, may expressions na po sila.
Mm-mm.
So, hindi ko malaman kung Mr. or Miss, even in writing the letter, hindi ko rin
Mm-mm.
po, so to make sure, I'm addressing it dun sa kanyang designation. Afternoon, vice president,
Mm-mm.
ganyan. So, how does it work? It should work.
Yeah. Part po yan ng isa sa mga trainings namin, yung how to respond to gender non-conforming individuals in Emerson, because we also have we also have employees. That's why you also have the LGBT plus allies resource group. Siguro the first thing to do is not to ask directly, because sometimes some people don't like it yung asking. Halimbawa, meron tayong naiisip na, ay, tomboy ba to or trans man, 'di ba? May mga ganun. Allow them to express themselves, 'di ba? But of course, if the siguro as kaya po yung ERG namin, yung Employee Resource Group namin sa LGBT is LGBT plus allies, because we also want to focus on allies, yung mga cisgender heterosexual people who consider themselves as allies, yung mga straight po, 'di ba, na tinitingnan nila na itong mga kaibigan natin from the LGBT. So kaya we consider also the allies, kasi one of the things that we can do is really when we are introducing ourselves, let's make it kumbaga normal yung introducing ourselves based on our on what we want to be called or the pronouns that we want. In sometimes during our meetings, we do have inclusion moments wherein we say, "Hi, I'm Leo Almero. My pronouns are he, him, his." So that provides the opportunity for someone who may want to be referred to as their affirmed name or their preferred pronouns as such, 'di ba? So may encounter ka ng, "Hi, I'm Hazel. My pronoun you can call me Hazel. My pronoun is she, her, hers," 'di ba? At least meron na kayong hindi you don't have to tell them, but you can show na, "Teka, I'm an ally. Kaibigan ako ng LGBT," 'di ba? So you can introduce yourself that way. So kung may kausap po kayong sabi niyo vice president or may nakaka-meeting kayo na parang pakiramdam nyo, hindi nyo alam kung paano mag-interact. So, pwede po kayong mag-introduce. Halimbawa, sabihin na lang natin, ma'am, na ang nickname nyo ay Joey. Halimbawa, ganun. So, hindi kasi yun yung name nyo, di ba? Sabihin nyo, "Hi, you can call me Joey. My pronouns are she, her, hers." Di ba? Tapos, mag-create yun ng idea sa kanya na, safe nakausap tong taong to because open siya sa ganun na, not naman idea, but um, she is a safe person to talk to about myself, 'di ba? So doon ka makaka-encounter na na anong tawag doon, na may mga magsasabi talaga ng pronouns sila, whether they be trans men or trans women, they will be able to also express themselves properly. Kasi nga, binigyan mo siya ng opening, 'di ba? Binigyan mo siya ng, safe akong tao para pag gusto mong ganun yung if I want you to refer to you as such, then just tell me. Ganun yung meron namang mga tao na they want you to ask them directly. Pero hindi naman natin malalaman unless we ask them, 'di ba? So the perfect way is really introducing yourself and showing that you're an ally, and that's one way of doing that. Kaya nga po, even in our company, meron kaming option sa signature, yung email signature namin, that we include the pronouns, kasi we do have globally we do have trans men and trans women employees. So talagang we allow them to express themselves however they want, how they want to be referred by a certain name and by the right pronouns, then we provide them that opportunity. Although in the Philippines kasi legally wala pa tayong ganun. So palagi lang tayong internal, kumbaga sa company lang, at least we can provide that safe space for them as well.
Kumbaga po, pakiramdaman na lang yung iba eh, no?
Mm. Kaya nga po mawawala yung pakiramdaman kapag ikaw mismo nagsabi. Kasi some people naman won't tell you, 'di ba? That's okay, 'di ba? Kahit na sabihin natin na macho na yung kausap nyo, hindi mo alam kung lesbian or trans man. Pero kung ang sabihin niya, you can call me Shirley, 'di ba? That's how then can refer to her pa rin as Shirley, 'di ba? Kahit na mukhang lalaki na baga kumbaga yung ano niya, yung appearance niya. Kasi at least galing sa kanya yung ano. Sabi ko nga once you open it up, even if straight guy ka or straight na babae ka, when you open up that way, 'di ba, na sabihin na natin na hi, I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her, hers. Alam niya na kagad na you will be respecting him or her, 'di ba? You'll be respecting them no matter what. I hope
So,
that helps po.
opo, yung fair language po practice
Mm-mm.
in gender and
Mm-mm.
equality. Ayan.
That's very important actually in gender development, yung having a genderless language, 'di ba? Actually, if you look at it in the Philippines, we have a very genderless language, 'di ba? Yung ano, pag uso kasi sa atin yung good morning sir, good morning ma'am. Kung hindi ka familiar and you don't know yet, pwede ka na magsabing good morning po. You don't have to address them based on gender, 'di ba? Po is very important. So, good morning po. Ganun lang. As simple as that. That has become genderless already. So, it's the simplest thing talaga. Just to respect other people. Pero wag kayong gagamit ng good morning ma'am sir. Iba naman 'yun kasi medyo iffy na 'yun. So, good morning po na lang. Ganun na lang.
Ayan. Narinig po ba natin mga estudyante ng Institute of Technology? And very informative po ang mga binigay sa ating tips at mga strategies ni Attorney Almero. Ayan, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Nandyan pa po ba kayo? Ayan, marami pong mga wala po yatang question. Meron po ba tayong question? Ma'am Banaobra? Good afternoon. Meron po ba tayong question sa ating pong YouTube channel? Dito po sa ating Zoom chat box, parang natuwa po sila dun sa ating exchanges, Attorney Almero. Kamusta naman po ang Emerson, Attorney? Yung ating mga women na in STEM dyan sa ating Emerson. For the last time, hindi mo na makakabayan.
Ano po, they're really thriving. They usually meet regularly to plan on how they want to collaborate. Actually, isa yun din sa mga plans namin to have the different ERGs collaborate with each other. Kasi, for example, yung LGBT plus ally CRG namin, we're very much focused on CSR activities, but we also want to help out kasi meron din kami mga engineers and IT people eh. We also want to help out dun sa education ng youth, di ba? So the women in STEM are very much into that and we've been planning to collaborate with them para naman makatulong din kami sa sa education ng youth kasi may mga partnership nga po, 'di ba, yung yung Emerson sa isang elementary school and isang high school which is very near us lang in Quezon City. So malapit lang para kapag may kailangan gawin, kapag may activity, this was pre-pandemic, pag may kailangan gawing activity, malapit lang yung pupuntahan namin.
Ang PUP po, malapit lang din po sa
Actually, ma'am, we have a lot of PUP graduates in Emerson. A number of my colleagues in human resources are actually from PUP. And they're the most diligent people that I know. So ano po, nakakatuwa po talaga yung yung aside from PUP, well, I mean lahat po ng mga employees namin, they are really what do you call this? Based on what I know ha. They're happy that they got into Emerson. Actually isa rin 'yun sa mga good things sa amin kasi syempre you can only go so far in Manila, 'di ba? May mga engineers na po kaming kinuha ng mga counterparts nila kasi we're servicing global, 'di ba? So dahil na-impress, may mga nakapunta na ng Europe, nakapag-move na yung mga families nila doon, may nakapunta na ng Singapore based na doon, may nakapunta na ng Australia based na rin doon. So ang po, kumbaga, ang opportunity dahil global company, parang nagpo-promote na lang ng Emerson, pero dahil nga po global yung company, we can if you stay and you show that you can do so, the opportunity for other Emerson companies globally is there for you. So hindi po nauubusan ng opportunities yung mga employees namin.
Ayan, thank you very much. Magandang balita po para sa aming mga taga-PUP po yan. Lalo na po sa Institute of Technology. Kung madadaanan niyo po ang Institute of Technology, nandyan po yan sa may Poreza. Kung narinig niyo.
Marami po kayong campus, di ba, ang PUP? I remember maraming campus ang PUP eh. So Poreza campus po pala yung Institute of Technology.
Magkatabi po kami ng College of Engineering. As outside po kami ng main campus. So, maraming salamat po, Attorney Almero. But before you leave, ito naman po ang aming token of appreciation. May we call on Ms. Aina David to read the citation of our certificate para po sa ating resource speaker from Emerson.
Magandang hapon po, Attorney Leo Ray Almero, for the awarding of certificate.
Magandang hapon po, ma'am.
Salamat po ng marami sa pagpapaunlak sa aming humble Institute of Technology. Let me read the text. Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Institute of Technology, awards the Certificate of Appreciation given to Attorney Leo Ray Almero in grateful acknowledgement of his engagement and insightful academic contribution as resource speaker with the topic Woman on STEM in the webinar series Promoting Gender Equality and Technical Vocational Education and Training held via Zoom on September 13, 2021, given this 13th day of September 2021 at the Institute of Technology and DC Compound, Poreza Street, Santa Mesa, Manila. To be signed later po by our Dean, Ramir M. Cruz, and our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Emmanuel C. Guzman, PhD. Congratulations po, Attorney Leo Ray Almero. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much po, ma'am. Thank you very much for inviting me po again.
It's an honor for us po.
It was really nice to have a discussion with Ma'am Jope din kanina. Ma'am, mute po ulit kayo.
Ayan. Sana, sir, pwede pa rin kaming makapag-invite sa inyo ulit given the time and opportunity.
Opo. Ano lang po, you can always reach out to me through email and bigyan nyo lang po ko ng konting heads up kasi yung invitation ngayon parang 2 weeks pa, 2 weeks ago. Oo.
2 weeks ago.
Medyo busy. Buti na lang may free time po ako today.
Kaya hindi ko kayo nistorbo, sir eh. Thank you very much po. See you next time.
Alright, thank you very much everyone. Bye-bye.
Photo op. Wait, may photo op muna po tayo.
May photo op.
Kailangan souvenir po kayo sa amin.
Sige po.
Si Ma'am Aina po is one of our extensionists, sir. Nagbibigay po ng mga community service. So, baka minsan ma-invite din po kayo ni Engineer Aina David.
Sige po. Sabihin niyo lang po, ma'am, yung kumbaga, ano tawag doon? Yung
extension. Coverage or topics, sir.
Kasi we can always, we have a lot of people are very much willing to share their perspectives and their thoughts. Si Sandy, the one that I talked about kanina, he usually go to different schools, even now virtually. Basta po na-invite din siya ahead of time. And we have a lot of resources din that can help out. Kung may mga specific topics po kayo, tingnan natin kung meron.
Parang last time po kasi si Nigel nag-invite for the parang CSR po ninyo para sa estudyante. Yun. Kaya doon po ako nagka-idea.
Mm.
Game card. Thank you po. Ayan,
Sige.
pwede na po tayo. Smile na po tayong lahat. Technical. Sa mga ating technical na magpipicture. Ayan. Magandang hapon po. Nakita ko po dito si Ma'am Teresa Mobilia. Kaya napakiti na si Ma'am Tels.
Hello po, may 5 slides po tayo. First slide po. 1, 2, 3. Second slide po. 1, 2, 3. Third slide po. 1, 2, 3. Fourth slide po. 1, 2, 3. Last slide po. 1, 2, 3. Okay na po.
Maraming salamat po. So magpapatuloy pa po tayo, ano?
Sige
Sir?
po. Thank you very much po
Thank you
for
very much,
inviting me again.
sir. Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much talaga.
Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Magpapatuloy pa rin po tayo after the picture taken, and let me remind each and everyone, mamaya po, meron pa po tayong survey exit survey questionnaire, and yung pong inyong attendance. Sa ating pong technical, from time to time, just in case po, pakipost na lang po yung ating attendance kung sakaling hindi pa po sila nakapag-attendance. Make it accessible na lang po sa ating chat box. Salamat po. Yan. Sa ating pangalawang speaker. Next speaker po natin sa hapong ito. At pangatlo siya sa buong maghapon. Let me introduce to you. She is a Master of Science in Information and Technology and a Master, of course, in Management, licensed secondary education teacher, and a Bachelor in Data Computer Management. She is one of our colleagues in the Institute of Technology, an IT trainer, instructor, teacher, professor, coach, lahat na po. Ano po ng taong ito. Serviceable sa lahat ng mga estudyante, kanyang mga colleague, and private professional practitioner in different corporate entities. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our resource speaker, Ms. Marisol D. Paira. Gandang hapon, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon po. Narinig po ba ako ng maayos?
Opo.
Good afternoon po sa aking mga kasama sa PPI-Tech. Good afternoon po sa aking mga estudyante sa DICT. So, magandang hapon pala. So, ang i-discuss ko po ngayon ay napapanahon. And the same time, isipin natin bakit ito yung diniscuss ko. Samantalang ang dami naman topic na pwede natin i-discuss. So, since we are looking forward for our capstone presentation and project, so ito na yung time natin to like for example, discuss or plan whatever development that we are going to present during our capstone presentation, especially in the ICT. Not only in the ICT, kasi when it comes to the field of specialization, lahat naman from engineering to management, lahat yan gumagamit ng application. So today I'm going to present to you about application development and its emerging technologies. Pwede po akong pa-share ng screen? Actually, this is an opportunity for me to discuss this topic kasi this is one of my kumaga forte natin to as an ICT and technology agent. We are agent of change, ika nga. Okay?
Ma'am, okay na po.
Okay pa. Thank you po. So nakikita na po yung screen ko. So kagaya po ng sinabi ko kanina, so ito po yung napapanahon. Like for example, once we wake up in the morning, ano po ba yung unang-una nating ginagawa? We always check our social media account. And not only that, isa din sa mga ginagamit natin for waking up, sorry, is using our application for alarm. Tama po ba ako? So ibig sabihin po, lahat po ng mga application na to ay parte na ng buhay natin, right? So after po nating magising, syempre, there are some of us to motivate us, to energize us, who use Spotify for our MP4 music, right? And then after that, when we go out for school or work, syempre kailangan natin mag-grab. Kasi traffic, and the same time, late na tayo. So that's also an application, right? So during office hour naman natin, we're working in the school, since work from home tayo, syempre magugutom tayo, right? So nandyan si Grab. Tama ba ako? So all of these are part of our daily life. So this is the question. Why is it important that we know about application development? Para lang ba to sa mga ICT or DSIT or mga developer? All of us can be a developer right now. So sabihin natin, ma'am, mahirap po yung programming eh. There are a lot of cloud-based. It's open source, cloud-based website and platform na pwede natin gamitin using simple programming language like CSS and HTML. So I proceed to my topic, what is application development? So it is a process of creating a computer program or a set of programs to perform the different tasks that business requires. So as you can see, every business using applications. Like for example, if you are working in a financial companies, meron mga tinatawag silang accounting system, not only in the business, but also in the academe, right? So lahat tayo, meron tayong accounting system. Our enrollment system is a software system application, right? And the same time, like for example, when we go to the grocery, so meron silang tinatawag na point of sales. And syempre, when we like, for example, look for something, an online shop, di ba? Nag-online shop tayo. So lahat yan, application na ginagamit natin. So kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, it's part of our daily life. Okay? So that's why there are a lot of opportunities and careers waiting for us, not only for the ICT, but also for all kinds of specialization. Like for example, marami tayo when it comes to management. Diba, meron tayong mga business analyst, diba? We have the BI, hindi yan, hindi yan, yung tinatawag nating, what do you call this? Hindi siya BI or bad influence, right? So BI is a business intelligence. Microsoft is looking for a business intelligence that can discuss, like for example, both technology and both management. It's more on the marketing side, right? So yun ang mga in-demand profession ngayon for our management courses, right? That's why I'm always telling to my student, make yourself marketable, guys. So hindi tayo magiging marketable kung hindi natin na-explore yung ating profession or career in the future. So this is
Kyra, excuse me po. Ma'am, may nakashare po ba kayong presentation or slide? Hindi pa po yata nakashare. Sorry po, ma'am. Ayan, ma'am. Meron na pong nakashare na slides. Thank you po. Pasensya na po, ma'am. Ma'am, parang nawala po yung audio. Hello? Nawala po yata si Ma'am Pyra. Ma'am Pyra. Nakikita po ba yung shared screen ni Ma'am Pyra? Yan.
Yes, ma'am.
Yan. Ma'am Pyra.
Naghang lang si ma'am.
Opo, naghang lang po siguro. Pasensya na po. Yan po yung mga technical disruptions po na nangyayari kapag ang ating internet connection ay nagkakaroon po ng problem. Nawala po ba si Ma'am Pyra? Pati yung screen sharing? Baka po na-log out po siya.
Nandito pa siya ma'am sa ano.
Ayun, si Ma'am.
Ayan na si ma'am.
Naka-share. Ma'am,
Walang audio ma'am.
Yan po, naririnig na po ako. Sorry.
Opo, ma'am. Nung may share po yung screen na wala po yung inyo pong audio.
Pero yan pa nakikita na. Share ko na po yung screen ko.
Sige po. Thank you po.
Sorry po, medyo nagkakaroon lang po ako ng technical problem. Okay, nakikita na po yung screen.
Starting screen sharing, ma'am. Ay, ito na po. Meron na po siya.
Okay po. Okay po. So, kagaya pa ng sinasabi ko, naririnig po ako?
Yes, ma'am. May vision na po at saka po may audio na.
Okay. So, as I continue, guys, so sabi ko nga po, application development is a part of our daily life. Not only at home, but also at work, right? So, lahat po tayo, gumagamit na po tayo ng application, right? So, in the same time, that application development process has simple process when it comes to requirement analysis. So, it doesn't matter po kung tayo po ay, like what I've said, kung engineering po tayo, or management, or ICT. So, when it comes to the step 1, we have the requirement analysis. So, ibig sabihin po, before we start with the application development or proposing a certain application, we have to analyze our requirement. We have to collect data. We have our data collection. We have to gather data. So, yun po yung mga basic needs natin for our requirement analysis. And then after that po, syempre titingnan po natin para saan ko ba gagamitin yung application na i-develop ko. Okay, like for example, like ngayon po very in demand po yung application, yung mga back tracer, like kasi since it's pandemic, so napaka-importante po sa atin ng mga back tracer application so that we can monitor, we can check, di ba po, yung pagdami po ng COVID cases dito sa ating bansa. Next is the design. So when you talk about design, ito naman po dapat ito ay applicable sa ating user. Baka mamaya napakaganda ng design natin pero hindi naman maintindihan or napakahirap gamitin ng isang client natin or ng ating user. Dapat when we look at our design, when we into designing, dapat alam natin na applicable sa ating user, and the same time it must be a user friendly, right? Next one. So for example, we're done with the analysis, we're done with the gathering data, collection of data. So that's the time and we're done with the designing. So lahat siya naka-prototype na, naka-ready na for our development. So when it comes to our development, napaka-importante rin po sa atin yung ating hardware and software requirements. Like for example, ano ba yung mga available nating hardware na pwede natin gamitin for our development? Like for example, is it laptop? Are we into mobile application? Or are we going to create a website, right? So in the same time, when it comes to the software part or software requirements naman natin, kailangan alam din natin kung ano yung pwede natin gamitin. So napaka-importante rin po ng ating software requirements. Is it applicable to the platform that we are going to use? Like for example, mobile application ang gagawin natin, right? So there are a lot of programming language that we can use, right? It can be an open source. It can be like, for example, a licensed software. So dapat alam natin yan kasi once we deploy, like for example, somebody wants to acquire our development, dapat ready tayo for support, right? Not only financially, but also yung capacity natin when it comes to the memory size, when it comes to like for example, baka mamaya dumami na yung network natin, di ba? Nagustuhan yung application na ginamit natin. So dapat ready tayo for that kind of requirements. And syempre, when we are done, when it comes to the development, ready na lahat ng development natin when it comes to the software, when it comes to the data, when it comes to our hardware, and syempre yung procedure. Napaka-importante ng procedure natin. That is the components of information system, di ba guys? So importante yun sa requirements natin for information system. Bakit? And syempre, the most important thing is the people, our user, right? So in the same time, when it comes to the testing, importante ang tao na gagamit ng ating application. Is if it's software application, or either a mobile application or what? A website application. When it comes to the testing, we're going to test kung may mga bugs pa dyan or there are some enhancement. Like for example, if we deploy it to a certain company, like what happened to some companies like NBI before, nagkaroon sila ng problema when it comes to the database because of their vendors na nag-develop ng kanilang software, hindi sila nagkasundo when it comes to the budget and financial plan or financial payment nila. So when it comes to the testing itself, so nag-back out yung vendor, di ba? So what happened nung nag-back out yung vendor nila? So nagkaroon ng problema sa NBI in that time, that's 2010 up to 2015. That's why if you're going to notice, si NBI hindi na siya nagre-renew ng mga old, lahat bago because they back to the zero, kumbaga back to the board, look for another vendor. So yun yung nangyari sa kanila. Next is the deployment. So deployment is very important kasi hindi mo kit na deploy na natin yung ating application or software application, goodbye. Meron kasi yung maintenance, right? So maintenance is the most important part for the developer and for the development itself. So there are different approach when it comes to application development. And we are very familiar with the waterfall or what they call the system development life cycle. Kaya siya tinatawag na waterfall because like for example, we start from the very, right? Yung pinaka-unang-unang ginagawa natin when it comes to collection of data. So when it comes to analysis, requirement specification, same with design, development, testing and integration, and implementation and development. So bakit siya tinawag na waterfall development? Kasi hindi lang natatapos siya sa deployment. For example, your user complaining about, uy, sir, hindi po kami makareceive ng email, nag-bug na po or nag-bug na po yung aming inbox. So there are a lot of email notification and messages na nandun sa spam. So what are you going to do? In waterfall, babalik tayo from the beginning. We have to analyze. So this kind of approach is used in a lengthy development period. Ibig sabihin, mahaba talaga yung development na. Hindi siya basta like, for example, mamaya explain ko when it comes to the agile. Si waterfall, kaya siya sinasabi na waterfall metaphor lookalike, it's because kailangan mo bumalik from the beginning. You're going to analyze what happened. Bakit nagkaroon ng ganong klaseng problema? Right? And then, check mo pa rin yung requirement specification mo. Wait, baka kulang na pala yung memory size na na-acquire mo or na i-render mo dun sa user mo or dun sa client mo. So you have to discuss it na kailangan nilang mag-add ng hardware requirements, right? And when it comes to the development, napasukan ka ng bug, like for example, di ba, kaya nga di ba sa BPO companies, napaka-importante sa kanila, hindi sila hindi sila pwede magkaroon ng downtime kahit 1 minute because they will lose all their valuable client. Kasi since they are offshore, when you talk about the offshore-based companies, like for example, in the Philippines, kaya nag-boom ang BPOs eh, di ba? Bank of America is here in the Philippines when it comes to their transaction, when it comes to the savings, withdrawal. Pero when you look at the company itself, the head office is in United States, right? Yung sumasagot lang sa kanila when it comes to the query, when it comes to like for example, yung kanilang savings and total amount of deposit, dito lang yun sa Pilipinas. That's why it's called an offshore base. So, like for example, sa Accenture, yan yung mga trabaho nila dyan. Hindi, what kasi namin BPO, it's more on agent. They are one in outbound and inbound. So, they are also selling. So, ibig sabihin, pag nagkaroon sila ng downtime, right? Malulugi sila. Magkakaroon sila ng problema. Kasi syempre, like for example, you're selling something. So ibig sabihin nun, pag hindi mo nakuha yung client mo, hindi mo nabigay yung service din, alam mo naman ng mga foreigners, right? So iiwanan ka niyan sa ere. So because of that, kailangan kumbaga masinsin yung kanilang development when it comes to the software. And syempre, we talk about the agile methodology. So ito naman yung kaibahan ng agile. We are very familiar when it comes to software developer, right? Yung mga companies, yung mga maliliit na companies na nag-offer ng mga software nila. Like for example, ABS-CBN has their software, they have their ERP already when it comes to their like for example, meron na silang mga human resources, accounting, so kompleto na yan eh. And then these companies and like for example, si ABS-CBN gusto niya, I want to migrate to another platform. Gusto ko yung mga, when it comes to attendance monitoring, because kumbaga, off-site yung kanilang mga empleyado. Kumbaga, lalo na ngayon na naka-lockdown sila when it comes to the shooting. So, paano nila mababayaran yung kanilang mga empleyado? Paano nila mamomonitor na hindi absent sila? Right? So, ang ginagawa nila, gusto nila magpa-develop ng tawag dito, ng isang application that will integrate to the existing system that they are using. So hindi na nila kailangan ihinto yung kanilang existing system na ginagamit, but instead they're going to integrate another software development system dun sa kanilang existing. So ibig sabihin, walang hihinto when it comes to their functions. So si Agile, yun ang trabaho ng Agile development when it comes to approach, right? Kasi hindi na sila back to the board, back from the beginning. So what they're going to do is check, ano bang kailangang module nitong ABS-CBN na to? So kung ito na yung module nila, a-add lang natin yung magda-divert lang tayo or mag-i-integrate lang tayo ng another platform para dun sa gusto nilang mangyari when it comes to their human resource system in attendance time attendance monitoring. So paano gagawin? So there are a lot of technologies using GPS, right? We have the biometrics, right? So from there, malalaman mo na pag nag-biometrics yung empleyado, malalaman mo kung siya talaga yung nag-i-in dun sa attendance. And not only that, when it comes to the GPS connected to the system of payroll and time attendance monitoring, so malalaman din niya kung nasaan yung tao, baka mamaya natutulog sa bahay, di ba? So, yun ang sinasabi nating agile. Okay, so there are many development process approaches like Scrum. Ito yung mga ito yung mga complex project natin. So, meron din tayong FFD, Features Driven Development, Extreme Programming, and yung Lean. These Lean manufacturing principles in software development are used by Toyota. So makikita mo kung gaano kaganda ang technology ng Toyota, di ba? When it comes to their launching of their new products, when it comes to yung simulation ng kanilang mileage. Kasi di ba, there are some clients, gusto nilang i-test, i-drive test. Syempre si Toyota, hindi naman pwedeng pahiram nila agad yung unit nila for test drive. So they are using this kind of approach wherein masa-simulate mo talaga. Kaya mamaya, i-discuss ko yung artificial intelligence and augmented reality. So as you can see, napakaganda ng technology natin, especially nowadays that is more, kumbaga broad yung ating technology. Okay? So today, I'm going to discuss about the common technology that is called the mobile application development. So ito yung sa isang application na talagang gustong-gusto lagi nating hawak, lagi nating ginagamit when it comes to our entertainment, when it comes to games, di ba? Kaya siya tinatawag na mobile application development because it's a handheld computer device, right? So what is mobile application development? It is a process of making software for smartphones, digital assistants, most commonly for Android. We are Android user. I know a lot of you are Android user. Siyempre, pag medyo yayamanin, di ba? Medyo yayamanin ka. Naka-iOS ako, di ba? So, yung bawat platform na yan ng mobile app natin, may kanya-kanya rin silang operating system. And we are very familiar with it, right? So, halimbawa, ikaw isang Android developer, or you are an iOS developer, syempre hindi pa huli si Microsoft. Meron tinatawag na Windows developer. Actually, nung lumabas si Android, sumunod agad si Windows, hindi siya papatalo. Kasi into development lahat ng mga companies na to. It just so happened that Android is an open source, di ba? Kaya nga open source si Android eh. If you are the developer, like for example, gusto mong mag-develop ng isang game or a game developer, and then hindi mo na kailangan connect with the company, right? All you have to do is upload it into the Google Play. So pag may naglaro niya, may nag-download dyan, kikita ka na, maghahati na kayo ni Google, di ba? Sa una, ano lang, 60% si Google, 40% ka. But as you can see, makikita mo, di ba? That's why yung mga LOL games natin, yung MIL natin, di ba? Kumikita yung developer nun, and as you continue playing, dinedevelop yan. That's why tumatagal yung naglalaro, and the same time, not only tumatagal yung naglalaro, dumadami yung network, pumapasok yung advertisement, pumapasok yung kung ano-ano, di ba? So doon kumikita si Google, and hindi lang si Google lang kumikita rin yung developer, right? So pag kumikita na yung developer, baligtad na, magiging 60% na si developer and 40% si Google. Okay? The software can be pre-installed on the device. That's why there are some, when we buy a new cellphone, guys, di ba? Mapapansin mo may mga naka-pre-installed na dyan na application. Kahit anong gawin natin, burahin natin, uninstall natin, hindi siya nabubura. Because it is already pre-installed on our devices. And it can be downloaded from our mobile App Store and Google Play. So there are different types of mobile application. We have the native app, the mobile web app, and the hybrid app. Okay, I hope you're interested with this, guys. Kasi mamaya I'm going to discuss how we're going to create a prototype of a mobile application. It doesn't matter kung hindi tayo magaling mag-program, like what I've said a while ago, marami tayong pwedeng gamitin over the internet, right? It's for free. All you have to do is use your Google account or email address. So hindi lang kailangan, ma'am, hindi po ko ICT, kahit na nga mga business management, like for example, maraming mga application or website application na pwede natin gamitin, basta marunong lang tayo mag-design and we know our craft, right? So napaka-importante nung ating craft eh. Kasi kung ano yung passion natin when it comes to our specialization and discipline, dapat yun yung lalabas dun sa application na i-develop natin. And at the same time, we have the hybrid app. So may tinatawag tayong native app. So what is a native app? It's a software application that built in a specific program language for a specific device platform, either Android or Android iOS, that is written in Objective-C. When it comes to the Objective-C, yun yung mga C#, yun yung mga C languages natin, and Swift. Right? So may mga Swift language kasi na ginagamit for certain mobile application development. Siyempre si Android app naman, ginagamitan niya ng Java, right? And si Kotlin. Actually, it's a mix language when it comes to the Java and Kotlin. Pag marunong ka mag-Java, you can use Kotlin. Okay? It also lives on a device and access through icon and on a device home screen. So ito yung mga example ng mga icon dun sa screen natin, Snapchat, iba yun yung Spotify, we have the Twitter, we have the Pinterest, we have the Skype. Siyempre, may naglalaro pa ng Angry Birds dyan, di ba? And we have the Instagram and more, yung mga play. And siyempre, dati Uber. Si Uber talaga is a native app. Kasi gumagamit talaga sila ng a certain programming language on their platform. Okay? So may tinatawag din tayong mobile application development or mobile web application. So what's the difference between mobile application? Kasi ang tingin natin lahat di ba?
Ma'am, Kyra, naka-mute po.
Naghang po yata si ma'am.
Right now, Ma'am Pyra is discussing about the mobile web applications, So, sa ating pong mga students na audience natin at participant for this afternoon, this is a good background when you're doing your research. So, kasi ang custom na natin ngayon, ang magiging kasama na sa ating system ay lalo na sa DICT, sa Information Communication Technology, yung inyong pong study na program, dapat it is a research-based and sometimes yung impact, you're studying about the impact on the use of your system na inyong na-create. Kaya very important po itong ina-explain po sa atin ni Ma'am Pyra. And for the engineering, even for the engineering students naman, still nakikita po natin yung mga work nila.
Rinig na po ako.
Ay, hello ma'am, welcome back.
Okay, sorry po, medyo nagkakaroon po siguro ng internet distraction or slow connection of internet po. Okay na po? So, siguro po narinig yung sinabi ko kanina, when it comes to mobile application, there are some mobile application, kala natin it's a mobile application, but it's a web application. So, ano ba yung kaibahan ng mobile application to a web application? So, they're not real application, they are a really website. A website that looks like a field native application, but not implemented such it is used by the we can use an HTML. It's also written in the HTML. So it means to say if you know how to use scripting languages like HTML, CSS, di ba? Magkakagawa tayo ng mga web application, right? And in order to run a web app, kailangan natin ng URL. So kailangan natin like for example, gamit tayo ng URL or like for example, bili tayo ng domain, di ba? Bili tayo ng domain so that we can run our web application. There are times na there are some website that it has a mobile view na tinatawag, di ba? Like for example, even though sa desktop kasi nakikita natin siya as website. But when we search it, when it comes to our mobile devices, makikita natin siya naka-mobile view siya. So, yun yung mga tinatawag nating mobile application. Okay, wait. Sorry po Moving on. So, yung tinatawag naman nating hybrid app. So, when it comes to the mobile application, syempre when it comes to the mobile application, yung platform natin dyan is more on mobile devices or smartphone. So, yun naman ating web application, syempre it's more on the website. It look like lang na mobile app, pero really it's a web application. So, may tinatawag tayong hybrid. It's a combination of two, right? Like for example, hybrid application is a combination of native app and web app. They are also built in HTML, CSS, There are a lot of our students know this, guys. So ito na yung ating chance para we look forward. Ano bang gagamitin ko? Is it a mobile application, a web application, or a hybrid app, right? Kasi depende yan sa user natin eh. Depende yan sa user natin kung saan sila mas madalas mag-visit. Usually, mobile application is the best, right? Right, guys? Kasi alam nga naman dali mo yung laptop mo para when you go to a certain area, dala ka ng laptop, okay lang yan kung halimbawa yan. When you are discussing something or gusto mong manood ng movies or any entertainment platform na gusto natin. Pero ngayon kasi, one-stop shop tayo when it comes to our mobile devices. Entertainment, games, right? Communication, education, because we use that, especially right now that we are into online or distance learning. Diba, ginagamit talaga natin yung ating cellphone. So, para sa akin, depende kung ano yung mas gusto nyo. Pwede naman siya magkaroon ng hybrid app. It's a mix between the mobile application and a web application, right? Like for example, syempre there are some like for example, we want to put some authentication when it comes to our mobile application. Syempre gagamit pa rin tayo ng web application for the validation, right? So both yan, pwede natin gamitin yan. Basta alam lang natin kung ano talaga yung requirements ng ating kliyente. Syempre hindi naman tayo magde-develop kung wala tayong requirements. Not only that, we are developing because our client, our prospective client are really using it and need it. Kailangan talaga kailangan natin mag-develop, di ba? In the same time, native app live in an app store also, same with the two kinds of application, and it also rely on HTML. So, mas marami talaga tayo when it comes to the scripting language. Kasi, when you look at the, diba, yung platform natin, diba, pag yung sa ating, sa IDE natin, mapapansin mo yung mga division, marami tayo mga scripting like JavaScript. So, lahat yan, at least kahit pa paano, we have basic knowledge, guys, we have basic knowledge on it. So, mas madali nating naiintindihan. Pag pumasok tayo sa mga cloud-based na platform, na pwede tayong mag-add, mag-edit, maglagay ng kung ano yung gusto natin gamitin when it comes to our application development. Okay? Now, we proceed when it comes to the emerging technology. Bakit ba natin kailangan discuss emerging technology? Because this is the trend, right? Ito na yung trending talaga eh. Actually, medyo late na nga ang Pilipinas eh. When you go to, like, for example, in other countries, meron silang tinatawag na cloud computing, right? When you talk about the cloud computing, when you go to the mall, meron silang mga application na ginagamit when you tap, like, halimbawa gusto mo yung, hindi mo na kailangang hawakan siya. All you have to do is tap mo yung damit, makikita mo doon sa mobile application mo or doon sa mobile mo kung ano yung kulay, kung ano yung size, kung fit siya sa'yo, ibig sabihin, parang naka-augmented reality, masusukat mo talaga siya. And the same time, not only that, hindi mo na kailangan magbayad. Siyempre, kahit naman dito sa Pilipinas, di ba, meron tayong mga online payment, right? So, kailangan mong i-connect siya with your online banking. Not only that, when it comes to their, like for example, yung sa kanilang traffic, once the ambulance go out for a fire, yung magre-rescue sila ng fire, yung kanilang sensor, that's called the network technology that talks about the sensor devices. Once na lumabas yung bumbero doon sa kanilang headquarters, lahat ng dadaanan niyang what you call this traffic light, it will goes green. Lahat yan go. Kumbaga, it doesn't matter kung saan, kung gaano kalayo yung kanyang pupuntahan, basta lahat ng dadaan niya because of the siren. Yung kanyang tawag dito, yung kanyang sensor device is connected with not only with the CCTV, and like in the Philippines, talagang CCTV, di ba? Kailangan pang mag-siren talaga or patabihin ng mga traffic enforcer yung mga sasakyan para dumaan lang yung bumbero. Pero in other country, pagdaan ng siren, kasi nakakonekta yung kanilang sensor device doon sa traffic sign, Lahat siya naka-green. So hindi siya kailangan ma-interrupt with other traffic disorder, right? So this is, I'm going to discuss medyo advanced na. Pero sabi ko nga sa inyo, hindi na to advanced eh. Honestly, technologies, kumbaga, napaka-interesting topic, right guys? Napaka-interesting topic ng technology. Kala natin kwento lang eh. But when we go to like for example, National Geographic, so malalaman mo na kung gaano kabago ang technology. So today, I'm going to discuss about the artificial intelligence, right? Yung sa mga mobile devices natin, makikita natin may AI. Pero sa picture lang yun. Di ba? Sabi natin, kasi naka 3D siya, tapos there are times there are some application in our mobile devices. Pag kinlik natin yung AI, di ba, there are some 3D effect, or like for example, gaganda ka, beautify ka, but did you know that AI is real, right? I'm going to show you because AI generation, di ba, when your computer teacher discuss about the fifth generation, it talks about the AI generation, which start 2010 pa. So how many years yung gap natin when it comes to the AI technology? Yung nakikita natin sa YouTube, kala natin mga ano lang yan, science fiction. But did you know that it's real, right? Totoo na yan. Kaya nga 'di ba, when you talk about the AI technology, napaka-interesting topic na 'yan. So when you talk about the AI generation, which is today from 2010 until this present. So ibig sabihin wala pa yung 6th generation, ano na kaya 'yan? Baka hindi na natin alam kasi sabihin natin yung mga lumilipad na sasakyan, hindi na 'yan bago, guys. Luma na siya talaga, especially in other country. So simulation of intelligence, intelligence when it comes to the process, when it comes to the machine is thinking or acting or working like a human. So like what you see on the picture, we have the droid or what we call the humanoid robots, right? In Japan, they are developing a lot of droids or human droid na tinatawag natin. Because the first droid that they're developed is yung mga nag-aalaga sa kanilang mga seniors. We know that Japanese are so industrious. Kahit Cuba na yan, nagtatrabaho pa sila. And may standby lang sila talaga sa bahay pag talagang totally wala na silang magagawa. So what they did, they developed a robot that can take care of their elderly. Siyempre, hindi lang naman yan, di ba? When we talk about robotics right now, napaka-in-demand naman na yan, di ba? When it comes to Mismo, there are a lot of robots, especially nowadays that I saw one robotics or human droid na pwede kang magka-boyfriend, di ba? Pwede mong piliin kung ano yung itsura niya. Kunyari, kamukha siya ni yung mga foreign, like, ano ba yung mga foreign artists ngayon, di ba? All you have to do is buy a robot, hindi ka na magiging mag-isa. Diba? So yun yung mga ano ngayon eh. Halimbawa gusto mo rin magkaroon ng girlfriend para i-display mo. So yun yung mga tinatawag nating humanoids robot. Okay? In the same time, we're familiar with the drone robots of Amazon. Ito naman yung nagdi-deliver sa atin, like for example, we order on an Amazon, right? Yung mga libro, whatever products of Amazon. So ito yung magdi-deliver sa bahay mo, doon mismo sa doorstep mo. Actually, it start and deploy 2015. So it's almost 5 years, guys. So it's almost 5 years. So there are a lot of development when it comes to the drone or drone robots, right, of Amazon. Right? So dito lang naman sa Pilipinas, hindi pwede magkaroon ng drone si Amazon kasi ang daming alam mo yon, yung mga electrical wire natin na nakasabit kasi baka sumabit si Prime Air. Diba? So pag dumating yan sa bahay mo, baka hindi na siya makalipad ulit at hindi na siya makabalik kay Amazon. Okay, it's a delivery system from Amazon. It takes 30 minutes when they fly over the over the country. So in the same time, I think you heard about the news about the Mars 2020, but it's almost 2021. So sabi natin, tawag dito, pagdating way back 2016 when Mars 2020 was discussed, right? So maraming natakot, sabi end of the world na ba? Bakit pati Mars kailangan na nating i-invade, right? because of the climate change. There are a lot of things happen, right? There are a lot of things happen in Earth, right? So hindi lang naman si Mars eh, di ba? Meron pang Jupiter. So itong droid na to, or what they call rover, it's a artificial intelligence machine that can detect human or microbial life, right? So yung first landing niya sa Mars, una niyang nakita kung may moist. Kasi alam naman natin kung anong klaseng planet si Mars, di ba? So ibig sabihin, doon nalaman ni rover kung may moist. So ibig sabihin kung may tubig, may mabubuhay na living things, right? That's way back 2016 and up to now. Nagulat tayo, it's already 2020. Uh, there are a lot of news in
Ampira. Hindi po siya nagpunta ng Mars. Ma'am.
Okay, narinig na po.
Yes, ma'am. You're back.
Okay. So, ito yung sinasabi ko about the Mars 2020 kasi di ba 2020 na nga eh. So, ibig sabihin, mom, end of the world na ba? Actually, this droid is developed just to check kung pwede nga tayong mabuhay sa Mars. So, actually, it's like what I've said a while ago, it's a microbial life which NASA quest to explore the past habitability of Mars. Like what I've said, pwede tayong tumira sa Mars kung merong mabubuhay doon. Kaya nga there are some, like for example, alam ko nag-recruit na sila. There are 2 black, there are 2 American, there are 2 Asian that volunteer themselves to start living in Mars. So ibig sabihin, pag pumunta sila doon, hindi na sila babalik. They're going to start a new human in Mars. All right? So napaka-interesting ng technology, right? So as we continue, so may tinatawag din tayong Internet of Things. So what is that of IoT that we are discussing? Internet of Things is combined information for connected and allows for the analytics of system. This platform device data sets provides additional insight and efficiencies for enterprise. Actually, you're so familiar with an NLP process or what we call the natural language process. Yung mga cellphone natin, if we are using Android, we are using the Google Assistant. And syempre, pag social tayo, like what I've said, hey Siri, di ba? Call mother. Or, hey Siri, call Joa. So automatically, Siri will going to call your mother or your loved ones. And not only that, it gives us what? Any information that we want to know, right? Yung lahat ng gusto nating malaman. Same with google.com, di ba? Kesa magta-type pa tayo, halimbawa tamad tayo eh. Yoko, naka-iOS ako eh. Gusto ko tawagin si Siri. Siri, order me to Grab. Di ba? So, papasok siya sa Grab application, go to Grab application, and then siya na mismo yung mamimili ng alin kung ano yung gusto natin kainin. Okay? And not only that, we can, like for example, instruct Siri when it comes to whatever information that we want to know on the spot. And at the same time, syempre, di ba sa Siri, meron siyang voice. You can choose between male or female, or kung gusto mo si Mimiya, right? Okay. So ito yung mga tinatawag nating voice recognition app. Actually, NLP is very interesting application. Sana yung sa mga susunod nating magde-develop, especially ICT, we embed or kailangan natin mag-embed or mag-plug in or hanap tayo ng mga API na may mga voice recognition. It's because lahat naman ng mga mobile devices natin, especially yung mga bagong mobile devices, they are complete with technologies like biometrics, face recognition, voice recognition or voice assistance. Ano pa? So, alam mo yun, para medyo, alam mo yung when it comes to the development, talagang bago siya, di ba? Napakabago when it comes to our proposal. Next one. We talk about the artificial intelligence when it comes to augmented reality. So augmented reality is a real-world environment where objects that reside in a real-world enhanced computer-generated perceptual information. Di tayo bago sa augmented reality, right? A lot of you are gamer. Augmented reality yan, guys. Yung mapipil mo kasi nandun ka na mismo eh. Ikaw mismo yung nandun sa game mo. Kaya nga 'di ba there are a lot of children. Talagang sobra silang na-addict or sobrang connected sila when it comes to the games that they are playing because of this kind of technology. Not only that, hindi lang naman siya for negative negative what you call this negative output. Siyempre meron din siyang positive output when it comes to education. Especially when it comes to our grade schooler students. Siyempre, doon more na nakikita nilang gumagalaw, napipil nila, feeling nila, nahahawakan nila, mas lalo silang na-enhance at saka nakukonect when it comes to their studies. Right? Like for example, yung Google Earth, halimbawa, merong isang application eh. Kasi lalo na ngayon, yung mga grade schooler na yun, gustong-gusto niyan field trip. Right? They want to go to a certain area, to a zoo, right? So gusto nilang pumunta sa zoo, gusto ni teacher, this is giraffe, this is zebra. So paano mo mapapakita ngayon? It's pandemic, so sa bahay ka lang. So ano makikita mo sa bahay? Siyempre makikita mo sa bahay, may mga ibang animals dyan, like dogs, like cat. Mami, sawa na ako sa dog and cat. Gusto ko naman makakita ng ibang kinds of animal because my teacher is asking ito yung mga animals na to. So, because of that, we need an augmented reality. So, ito yung mga in-demand technology that a lot of teachers are using right now. Kasi may mga application when you like for example, when you look at the picture, guys, tingnan niyo, pag nakikita mo yung picture, di ba, yung solar system, gumagalaw na siya. Di ba, nakaka-motivate kasi pag medyo may nakikita kang something new when it comes to education because of the learning, di ba? Na parang nagiging interesting, especially the millennials right now. Yung attention span nila pag hindi ka magaling when it comes to using technology, and not only using technology, when it comes to using some techniques on how you're going to disseminate the information, hindi yan makikinig sa'yo, especially mga young ones na yan. So because of this augmented reality that is used in education, talagang interesting mag-aral, right? Okay, so we also have the virtual reality or the mixed reality. It's almost the same with the augmented reality, but as you can see, ginagamitan natin yan ng VR. Diba nakikita lang naman natin yung VR na yan saan? Nakikita natin yung VR na yan sa mga mall. Pero did you know that this VR are used for business, business when it comes to their development, like for example, architecture, diba, halimbawa yung mga student when it comes to developing a building. So, ito yung mga virtual reality na feeling nila. Like for example, when they are constructing or drawing, nagdodraw na sila when it comes to the design of their building, yung structure ng building nila, ginagamitan nila ng virtual reality. And not only for engineering, but also for medical alliances, right? So napaka-importante ng virtual reality and mixed reality sa pagtuturo ng, like for example, surgery. Instead of using tawag dito yung ginagamit nila for example, wait lang po. Wait lang po Sorry. Okay? Balik ako kay virtual reality. So for example, when it comes to the medical alliance, nagiging 100% successful ang operation because of the simulation or using virtual reality when it comes to transplant of heart transplant, lung transplant, di ba? Kasi kaysa kumuha sila ng totoong tao na pagpapractice nila in the field of medicine, So they are using this kind of technology. Today, I'm going to show you the wonderful or the beautiful of the technology, talking about the virtual reality and the mixed reality. Okay, wait lang po. I'm going to play the video. Sorry, naghang na naman ako.
Technology is all around us. We use it in every aspect of our lives. It enables us to do amazing things. But what if we could go further? What if we could go beyond the screen? Where your digital world is blended with your real world. Now we can. This is the world with holograms. What will they enable us to do? New ways to visualize our work.
I have an idea for the fuel tank.
New ways to share ideas with each other.
How are things going your end?
I just put the images in OneDrive.
Perfect.
More immersive ways to play. New ways to teach and learn.
So put the new trap in the place of the old one.
Now what?
It tighten here and here.
New ways to collaborate and explore the places we've never been.
Look at this formation. Let's take a closer look.
And new ways to create the things we imagine. You change the way you see the world, you can change the world you see. This is Microsoft HoloLens.
Okay. So, napakaganda ng technology, right? So, as we continue with the topic, today I'm going to discuss a simple prototype when it comes to mobile design or mobile prototype design. So, alam ko, a lot of you knows about Figma. Tama ba ako? So, today I'm going to have my simple demonstration on how are we going to use this cloud-based when we are going to design a simple mobile application. Okay, wait lang, I'm going to. So I hope you learned something from my explanation, but before that, I'm going to do some demonstration on how are we going to use the Figma application. So nakita natin, ano ba tong Figma na to? Right? So nakita natin dyan sa ating screen about the Figma. So marami sa atin, hindi lang Figma ang ginagamit. Siyempre kung magamit tayo ng Flutter, we use some Firebase for our database, diba? So kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, so si Figma kasi ay napakadaling gamitin. It doesn't matter if you are like for example management, or like for example you are education, or for example you are engineer, or syempre yung mga ICT natin dyan. So I'm going to show you what Figma is. Okay. So, dun sa introduction ng Figma, makikita natin na pwede tayong mag-design ng kahit anong klaseng mobile application. Not only mobile application, it can be a web application, it can be a mobile application, or a website. Okay? So, I'm going to share my screen again, but for the meantime, I'm going to open my Figma. But, nag-record na ako guys para kahit papano baka magkaroon ako ng delayed when it comes to my internet connection. So what I did, I record my presentation. Okay, so today I'm going to show you Figma. So Figma is a cloud-based. When you talk about the cloud-based platform, you can, like for example, basta may internet tayo, pwede natin gamitin si Figma, right? So in the same time, Figma is a collaborative platform na pwede natin gamitin. For example, team tayo na magde-design ng mobile application natin. Ibig sabihin, naka-real time siya. Naka-real time siya na you can collaborate when it comes to the design, when it comes to the text, when it comes to the color design. So pwede kayong mag-collaborate with your group, right? So naka-real time siya. Habang ginagawa ng isa, nakikita ng lahat ng grupo mo nakasama dun sa project na yon. Okay. So in the same time, paano natin magagamit si Figma? All we have to do is log in. Siyempre, bago tayo mag-log in, punta muna tayo sa google.com, search natin si figma.com. So as you can see on my screen, it's for free. So ibig sabihin, wala kayong kailangan i-download, i-install when it comes to your environment and to your platform, di ba? Ibig sabihin, tawag dito, hindi mo na kailangan ng malaking memory kasi gagawa ko ng capstone project, magde-develop kami ng mobile application, kailangan ko po ng malaking memory, kailangan bumili ng bagong laptop, right? But as you can see, what I've said, all we need to do, kailangan lang natin magkaroon ng internet. So kung wala pa ring internet, medyo mahirap na talaga mag-develop, di ba? Siguro naman, kahit pa paano, when it comes to the internet connection, magagawa natin ng paraan yan. Tama ba ako? Kasi kagaya nga ng sinabi ko, like for example, if you want to create a design, kasi ang gagawin muna natin ngayon, syempre hindi man ako pwede gumawa ng mobile application, yung buong development na. So syempre, we're going to start with the design. So we're going to create a prototype using Figma. Okay? So all we have to do is log in. So as you can see, it's a cloud-based. It's for free. So, meron ng mga template, may mga templated design na kung gusto natin. Okay? So, once you want to use Figma, all you have to do is log in. So, pwede mong i-connect with your Google account. Okay? So, as you can see, pwede tayo mag-log in lang, guys. So, it's for free. Like what I've said, it's an open source in the same time. And then, yan na. Meron na yung mga templated design dyan na pwede natin gamitin. In the same time, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, kunyari gagawa tayo sa capstone project natin ng design natin for our mobile application or web application, pwede tayong makipag-collaborate with our team or our classmates. Nakikita tayo dyan na tayo makikita kahit papaano. So there are no chance. So, wala po akong laptop, di ako nakatulong sa kanila. So sana walang ganon. Kagaya ng sinabi ko, dapat make ourselves marketable. Kung hindi natin pag-aaralan yung ating, like for example, yung mga dapat nating gawin, maging part ng task natin as a developer or as a designer, hindi tayo matututo eh. Kung hindi tayo tutulong, matitingnan lang natin yung mga may laptop, right? Actually, you can use this on your mobile devices kasi may mga app ang Figma eh, right? Continue. So, like for example, like what I said, may mga templated design na dyan. You can use the design with Figma, and kung gusto niyo naman sarili niyo yung design, whiteboard with PigJam. Okay? So, ito yung mga makikita niyo when you open your Figma account. So, may mga templated na tayo dyan. So like what I've said, pwede kayo mag-Figma Jam Basic. So may mga, like for example, may mga icon dyan, no, na pwede mong i-connect mismo dun sa sarili mong mobile application prototype. So like for example, I'm going to create my own. So, makita mo dito, meron tayong mga tools. Like for example, we have the file. Ito yung mga simple, 'di ba? When we are using Photoshop, ito yung mga basic tools na ginagamit natin when we are saving or opening a new design. And then so meron tayo diyan mga like for example, we want to export some design coming from the internet, yung view, yan yon. So marami tayong pwedeng kuhanan ng ating mga design when it comes to the Figma. When it comes to the vector, so marami rin yung plugins, guys. Maraming plugins. Mamaya discuss natin kung ano yung mga plugins. So first, we're going to use a scale. So scale yung mga sizes, yung like for example, kung gaano kalaki yung ating canvas. So ito yan. Like for example, yan. So as you can see, meron tayong tatlong klaseng canvas. Okay? So wait. So ano yung nakikita natin sa screen? We have the iOS for the iPhone.
Ma'am,
Ay, sorry.
wala po kami makita pa rin sa screen.
Ay, sorry po.
Kanina po, nung inintroduce po ninyo yung Figma, meron pong na i-present na mga slides. But now,
Sige pa. Sige pa. Pero narinig mo ako, ma'am?
Opo ma'am, may audio po. Yun lang pong slides, hindi na po siya nag-function.
Okay, yan po. Nakikita na po ba natin?
Ayan ma'am, ayan na po. Meron na po.
Ito na. Ang hirap pag... sorry guys. Anyway, I'm going back to the very beginning. Okay, sorry. So like what I've said, si Figma ay cloud-based. So what you have to do is just, it's a free platform where you can design your mobile application, your web application, and your website application, right? So ibig sabihin, mamimili ka lang kung anong klaseng platform ang gagamitin mo. Mobile devices ba yan? Web ba yan? Desktop ba yan? So yan yung gagamitin natin when it comes to the Figma. So like what I've said a while ago, pabalik ako ulit. So pwede tayong i-browse yung figma.com. So ito na yung makikita natin na site niya. And then from there, pwede tayong mag-login. Okay. So for example, you can connect it with your google.com account, right? And at the same time, it is a collaborative work.
Your phone's mobile data is turned off, so I can't help you with that.
Okay, wait lang po. Sadali lang, ma'am. It's a collaborative work. Ibig sabihin, hindi natin kailangan ng malaking memory size when it comes to our laptop, right? And like what I've said a while ago, hindi natin pwedeng idahilan na wala po akong laptop, wala po akong tawag dito, wala po kasi akong magagamitan ng gamit. Kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo, there are a lot of platform that we can use online. Right? We can learn online. Marami tayong matututunan kasi nga open source na lahat ng ating mga platform when it comes to the development. All we have to do is learn about it. Okay. Wait lang po. Mag-charge lang po ako. Sorry po. Okay, sorry po. Maraming interruption. Okay. So, kagaya po ng sinabi ko, may mga templated design na po tayo dyan. Depende kung ano pong gusto natin gamitin when it comes to our design. Like for example, may mga icon na rin din po dyan at mga button. So today I'm going to discuss or I'm going to show you how we're going to start with Figma. So dito po, makikita nyo po, ito po yung ating menu bar wherein we have, like for example, we have the new design, tapos gusto nating mag-export ng ibang design or any size of our platform resources na gusto nating gamitin. Okay, so main components, and in the same time, may mga vectors po dyan, text, arrange, plug-in. So, ang maganda po dito kay Figma, maraming plug-in online na pwede natin i-connect dun sa ating prototype design. So, when you talk about plug-in, like button, like yung mga text, like yung color palette, like yung mga object na gusto natin gamitin, and when it comes to our components, yun ang tinatawag nating plug-in, okay? For example, when it comes to the scale din po, ganun din po siya. Pwede natin lakihan, pwede natin liitan. And at the same time, ang kagandahan po kay, tawag dito kay Figma, when it comes to the frame. So ano po yung frame na tinatawag natin? So makikita nyo po, may tatlo po dyang canvas. Okay? So depende po, kagaya ng sinabi ko sa inyo, meron po dyang dalawa. Depende kung gusto po natin ay iPhone, yung ating cellphone. So yung paglalagyan po ng ating design, ito na po, wait lang po Yung paglalagyan po natin ay iPhone. When it comes to the other one, yung Google Pixel po is more on Android. And syempre po yung malaki po na MacBook po, like for example, is a desktop view. So ibig sabihin po, meron po tayong option. In the same time, sa right side po, makikita nyo po, may pwede po kayong iba-ibang klaseng cellphone na pwedeng gamitin. Okay? So, yun pong mga canvas natin, pwede po nating i-fit mismo sa actual mobile devices na paglalagyan po ng prototype natin. Like for example, gumagamit po tayo ng Vivo, or for example, naka-iPhone po tayo, iOS, or for example naman, kagaya ko po, naka-Pocophone po ako. So, meron kayong option dyan kung anong gusto nyong gamitin when it comes to your mobile devices para dun sa prototype nyo. Okay? Sorry po. Po kung nag-ano siya. Pumasok na agad ako sa nag-move forward. So po. Okay, so for example, discuss ko lang po muna yung mga functionalities po niya, tsaka yung mga design tools po niya. Wait, ma'am, ha? Okay, wait po. Wait lang. Okay. For example po, ayan, gagawa po tayo ng, wait po lang. Gagawa po tayo ng, like for example, website ni PUP. Pero gusto po natin siya, like for example, naka-mobile application, or naka-web application, or a website. So, pwede po natin i-design dito kay Canva. Galang ma'am ha, wait lang po, wait lang. Naghahang yung aking, sorry po. Okay, sige, moving on na lang po tayo. So, as you can see on the screen, nagde-design po. Wait lang po, wait lang ma'am. Sorry. Waiting ko na lang po siya. Wait. Kasi nag-move na siya agad dun sa design ng PUP. So para makita po natin yung mga buttons niya, yung mga design tools, yung mga kung ano po yung nakalagay po dun sa left, tsaka yung nakalagay po dun sa right side button po. Yung mga components po natin. Wait. Okay. So, from the beginning po ulit. Actually, hindi na po yung login. So, we start with the design. Okay, so moving on po tayo. Sorry po. So pasok na po tayo. So dito na po tayo sa design. So yung collaborative work po, pwede siya. At the same time, so halimbawa meron na po tayong napiling design yan. Kagaya po na sinabi ko kanina, pwede tayong mag-back to scratch. So ito na po yung file menu natin. Madali na lang naman din po siyang makita. So ito naman po yung skill tsaka move tools po natin. And the same time, ito na po yung sabi ko kanina, pwede tayong mamili kung anong klaseng platform yung gusto natin gawin. If it's website, if it's desktop view, if it's mobile application or mobile view siya. So, dito po sa left side, makikita po natin, since naka-desktop po yung canvas ko po. So, ito yung mga components po natin. So, components and object. So, eto po, pwede po tayo halimbawa, click lang po natin color palette. For example, gusto natin yung background natin. So, pwede po natin i-adjust ito kung anong, depende po sa design na gusto natin. Or, yung combination, it can be a combination of CSS. Kung gusto po natin magkaroon ng CSS. Or, for example, pwede po natin gamitan ng hexadecimal color dun sa color palette natin. Okay, for example po, since na PUP yung gagamitin namin, maroon po yung gagamitin ko. So, syempre, dito naman po, doon tayo sa shape, pwede po tayong gumawa ng logo na ni PUP. Okay, gawa po tayo ng logo ni PUP para kahit papano, maglalagay po tayo ng logo. Doon sa left side po, ng canvas natin, pwede, may text po dyan. So, every time na gusto natin, kung ano po yung gusto natin isulat, like for example yan, gagawa tayo ng header ni PUP, so pwede po natin yung i-text dito. Makikita po lahat natin dun sa right side kung ano po yung tinatype natin. In the same time, sa left side naman po, nandyan naman po yung pwede natin i-adjust yung font face natin, font color, kung gusto natin naka-center, naka-align left, align right, tapos kung anong klaseng text face, yung font face na gusto natin gamitin po. Okay. So like for example, gagawa tayo, yan po, gawa tayo ng header ni PUP. So pwede po nating lagyan yan when it comes to color design, kung gusto natin medyo, when it comes to opacity, kung gusto natin na tawag dito, when it comes to the color design po natin. In the same time, gagawa rin po tayo ng, ito po yung tinatawag nating navigation bar, right? So, pero yan po, gagawa muna po tayo ng toolbar. So, pwede po tayo magkaroon ng input box dyan para sa ating mga, yung mga tab natin. Like for example, gusto natin lagyan yan. Pwede natin lagyan ng kung ano yung gusto nating design dun sa ating tab bar. Okay? Okay, so yan po, lagyan natin ng line para po sa ating navigation bar. Okay, pagkatapos po, pwede rin po natin siyang i-align kung paano po natin siya gustong makita when it comes to our design. So, it's more on designing na po talaga to. So, napakadali lang po niya. All you have to do is look for the left object components and the right object components po. Okay, so gawa po tayo ng ating mga icon. Ayan, about. Gawa po tayo niyan. So we're typing header on the right. And then ito na po yung gagawin natin. So, pwede rin po natin when it comes to our text, pwede rin po natin lagyan ng mga effect. Like for example, gusto lang lagyan natin ng shadow para medyo kahit papano applicable siya sa text, or yung tinatawag nating stroke. So dito po, yung tinatawag po nating wireframe. Ano po itong wireframe natin? So bago tayo mag-continue, dun sa gitna, nakikita nyo na po yung wireframe natin. Diba po? So dito pwede muna tayong blanco. Siyempre, mag-isip muna tayo since we are talking about the mobile application or the website of PUP, ano ba dapat natin makikita dun mismo sa landing page ni PUP. So pwede tinatawag natin siyang wireframe. So ibig sabihin, bago tayo maglagay ng kung ano man yung gusto nating ilagay doon, gamitan muna natin siya ng wireframe. Okay? Or kung ano yung gusto natin makita talaga dun sa actual website natin. So, importante sa navigation bar, guys, pag gumagawa tayo ng navigation bar, yung ating tinatawag na outline at saka yung full. Diba? When you talk about, like for example, diba, usually sa Facebook, malalaman natin pag nag-ship na tayo dun mismo sa site eh, diba? In the same time, ito yung sinasabi kong plug-in, right? Ito yung mga plug-in ni Figma. So for example, gagamit ako ng hero icon. Okay, gagamit ako ng hero icon for my tools and icon. So makikita mo dito, iba-iba yung icon. Diba? Iba-iba yung icon na nandito na pwede nating piliin para doon sa ating tab, right? Or yung tinatawag nating navigation bar mamaya. Kasi mas maganda pag may icon tayo, mas madaling, halimbawa, like for example, lagay natin, contact us. So automatically, kahit na hindi ka masyadong familiar when it comes to the content or text, pag nakakita tayo ng icon, yan, about, home, alam na natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin nun. Di ba? So, napaka-importante ng icon. So, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ando naman siya sa plug-in nyo, lalabas lang kayo dito. Actually, lalabas lang naman kayo dito sa mismong canvas nyo. So, marami kayong maiko-connect na plug-in dito. So, depende kung anong choice nyo. So, pwede rin natin palitan ng kulay, yung background color ng ating mga text, right? So, pwede natin i-full yung kulay natin, depende kung anong gusto natin, para mas madali siyang malaman kung tayo ay nandun na mismo sa page. Once we click it, diba? So, okay. So, mapapansin nyo sa icon, may outline. So, when you talk about the outline, yan yung ganyan. So wala siyang kulay. So, dalawang klase siya. It's either an outline, yan yung sinasabi kong icon, or pag kinlik natin yan, halimbawa, ikiklik na natin siya, malalaman natin kung nakapasok na tayo doon kasi magiging solid na yung kulay, or makita natin like sa Facebook, makikita natin nandun na tayo mismo sa gusto nating puntahan na page. Pero pag halimbawa naka-outline pa siya, ibig sabihin, hindi pa tayo lumilipat ng page natin. Okay? So, medyo matagal ako naghanap ng mga icon kasi syempre when you are designing, guys, so dapat pipiliin mo yung pinaka, sabi ko nga sa inyo, user-friendly when it comes to our icons. At nakakaganda siya when it comes to our design. Pag gumagamit tayo ng mga ganitong klaseng icon, if it's solid or outline icon. Okay. For example, this is about, right? So, ito yung icon ng about natin. So, yung home natin, obviously, bahay siya. And syempre, yung alumni and contact, right? So, in the same time, yan, maglalagay na tayo ng picture. Okay. As you can see on the screen, once we put our pictures on our Figma, hindi siya ganun kaganda. Okay? Hindi siya ganun kaganda when it comes to yung, hindi naman siya pixelated kasi syempre kung halimbawa galing lang naman sa google.com yung picture natin. So, gagamit tayo ng overlay design para kahit paano ma-emphasize natin when it comes to the opacity, when it comes to the presentation of our graphic. Diba? Okay, so dito sa right side ulit, pwede tayong mag-adjust natin dyan kung anong klase yung image natin. Like for example, yan nakikita nyo, you can adjust the contrast, the exposure. So yan yung tinatawag nating overlay. Okay? So optimize natin kung ano yung gusto natin sa overlay natin or yung outer layout natin. So para kahit papano, siyempre, sabi ko nga sa inyo, design is the most, kumbaga ito yung heart ng ating ng kahit anong mobile application, kahit hindi nga ganun kaganda yung mga functionalities ng mobile application, di ba? Pero ang ganda ng pagkaka-layout niya. So, nakaka-attract siya ng user and ng viewers natin, right? So, ito na yung navigation bar natin. So, kagaya ng sinabi ko, pwede mo siyang isolid para sa talagang ma-emphasize mo na yun talaga yung navigation bar. So, depende sa inyo kung paano kayo magde-design. Okay? So, ito yung color palette natin. So, madali lang naman tayong mag-combination ng color. So, kagaya sabi ko, pwede kayong gumamit ng CSS or hexadecimal color. We're very familiar naman with, like for example, yan. Hanap pa tayo ibang picture. Halimbawa, ayaw natin yung picture na yon. Pwede tayong kumuha ng ibang pictures. Pero sige, tingnan natin kung ano yung pwede pa natin idagdag dun sa ating design. Okay. So, ito na yung navigation bar natin. Lagyan natin ng home. So, talagang ang mas madalas natin gagamitin, para lang naman din tong Photoshop, right? So, nandito yung mga toolbars natin. So, dun sa kabila, it's more on the adjustment or ito yung ating, dito yung sa kabila sa object natin. And dito naman sa kabila is yung ating context, right? So, home. Okay, guys. So, sana alam ko hindi tayo makakasunod ngayon, pero sana bigyan natin ng chance yung sarili natin para matuto pa when it comes to other platform using different kinds of cloud-based. Diba? Cloud-based when it comes to our mobile application, website application. So, nasa sa atin kung paano tayo matututo eh. Kasi andyan naman lahat na yan eh. Kumbaga, available na siya over the internet. And the same time, kagaya ng sinasabi ko, we make ourselves marketable. I always telling it to my students, make ourselves marketable, right? Kasi there are a lot of opportunities if you are a designer, web developer, mobile developer, 'di ba? Website developer. So lahat 'yan ano natin 'yan eh. Profession natin 'yan eh. So dapat i-enhance talaga natin yung sarili natin to learn different things, right? Tayo lang naman ang makakapag-sabi kung paano natin i-market yung sarili natin. So as you can see, dun sa navigation page natin, meron na tayong home, may admission na tayo. If we want to put some faculty, like for example, so dyan naman sa mga navigation bar, depende sa inyo kung gusto nyong lagyan ng drop-down box kasi available naman na rin siya. Or for example, checkbox, 'di ba kasi 'di ba, drop down 'yon, 'di ba? Pwede tayong maglagay ng mga drop down choices natin, 'di ba? So para kahit papaano responsive yung ating design when it comes to our viewers. Okay, so in the same time, ayan na, pwede na tayong maglagay dyan ng text natin. That like for example, we want to indicate dyan, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, yung ating tagline. Ano nga ba yung tagline natin? So, pwede natin lakihan yung text. So, more on text design lang naman yan. If you're going to explore more on Figma, marami pa kayong pwedeng maging animated dyan, or for example, carousel siya, gumagalaw, gusto natin gumagalaw yung ating mga pictures, whatever homepage or page that you want to, like for example, develop or design. So, yan lang naman yung gagamitin natin na mga panel sa ating Figma. At the same time, so yan, naglagay na ako ng Light of the Nation. Okay, so makikita mo, napakasimple lang. Whatever text that you are writing on your screen, dun sa canvas natin, nandiyan, nakikita mo na. All you have to do is align, center. So, hanapan nyo ng mas magandang pwesto siya, na mas madali siyang maintindihan, mabasa, di ba? So, lagay tayo ng mga icon natin na para talagang feeling mo talaga mobile application siya. So, yun. Marami, kagaya na sabi ko kanina, marami siyang plugins na pwede nating i-drop, drop and drag lang naman siya. Madali lang siya talaga na gawin at gamitin. Okay? Isa rin si Plotter. Alam ko may mga iba sa inyo na gumagamit ng Plotter for your prototype of your mobile application. Okay. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. So, more on color design, color combination, text. And, syempre, that's it. Ito na yung ating, actually, it's a website design. So, pwede natin naman siya i-convert into mobile. So, depende kung anong klaseng cellphone yung paglalagyan nyo ng design nyo. Okay, guys? So, before I end up with my presentation. Going back to my PowerPoint presentation. So wait. Sorry. Okay po. Pabalik na po ako sa aking presentation. So before I end up, I hope I share my knowledge and information when it comes to not only the ICT but other specialized or other courses. So like what I've said, kayo yung gagawa ng sarili nyo para maging marketable kayo, especially nowadays that technology, sabi nga nila, napaka-in-demand ng mga profession that is connected or aligned with technology. So ano ba yung mga career na pwede nating applyan? Like for example, we have the mobile application developer or OIS, Android, Microsoft, right? Game developer. Siyempre, pag gumamit tayo ng mobile application, dyan na ipapasok yung mga gamers eh. Diba? Dyan na papasok yung mga game developer. And siyempre, we have the web designer, the user interface, and the UI, and the user experience or the UX. So, parking words, technology will not replace a great teacher, but technology in the hands of great teacher can be transformational, according to George Curus. That's the end of my topic, and that's the end of my discussion. Thank you so much for the opportunity, PUP Tech, and good afternoon po.
Hello, magandang hapon. Thank you very much, Ma'am Pyra. Meron po ba tayong gustong itanong po sa ating resource girl?
Okay, question po ba tayo, guys?
Sabi po ni Ma'am Florida, by using Figma, is there any duration, protection of your design?
Actually,
subscription na, ma'am.
Yung ginamit ko po kasi sa trial, what you call this, trial, ano po siya, trial testing lang po. Pero alam ko po usually, pag mga ganitong klaseng cloud-based po talaga, meron po siyang bayad. Lalo na po pag meron tayong gagamitin sa kanilang mga tools na medyo i-enhance na po natin yung ating design. Pero since na sabi ko nga po sa inyo, ang importante po kasi dito, once na-download na po natin yung design natin at ilalagay po natin siya like for example for Android Studio, talagang magde-develop na po tayo ng ating mobile application, hindi na po hahabulin, hindi na po tayo mahahabol ni Figma. But when it comes to copyright naman po, alam ko po kahit when it comes to Firebase, may expiration po talaga kaya especially yung mga developer talaga, gumagamit po sila talaga ng mga premium account. It's the same with Zoom account din naman, di ba? Nagbabayad tayo ng Zoom account kasi gusto natin gamitin for all year round. Tapos gusto natin i-maximize yung capacity ng ating paggamit. So, syempre, kung tayo ay nagde-develop and we are using a cloud-based platform, mag-i-invest po tayo ng konti. Kasi when it comes to yung pagbalik naman po sa atin, when it comes to our services, di ba po, halimbawa, we're going to upload it in a Google Play, tapos marami po tayong, tawag dito, maraming nag-subscribe or gumamit ng ating application, babalik po yung investment na yon. And sabi ko nga po sa inyo, isa sa requirements natin when it comes to development is the hardware and the software and the cloud-based requirements. Kailangan po talaga mag-i-invest tayo sa ganyang mga klaseng platform. Thank you po, Ma'am Jope.
Po, ma. Baka po sa ating technical, baka meron pong question ng ating pong mga audience, participants sa ating pong YouTube. Meron po. Any interesting topic? Kasi ano talaga to eh, this is for your marketable skills.
That's correct.
Kasi po nung araw, parang 10 years ago, pag sinasabi ko sa management student yung marketable, nagtatawanan sila. Sabi ko, hindi ko naman ibibenta kayo, hindi ko ibibenta ang inyong mga laman at dugo.
Kasi ma'am, actually ngayon, since we are work from home, a lot of companies right now, especially, gusto nila mga cloud-based eh. You're going to just do your project isa-submit mo lang sa kanila. Like what I've said, collaborative yan eh. So kahit hindi na tayo pumunta dun sa company nila, i-connect lang natin sila with our projects, makikita nila yung ating output. So that's it. Marketable na talaga tayo. Makikita nila yung design natin, di ba? So, yun.
Yung mobility, no, ma'am, kahit nasaan sila, pwede silang mag-develop.
Especially yung mga outsourced na, there are some foreign companies that is based in other countries. Pag nakita nila, since na online and the same time cloud-based yan, sumisilip yan eh. Sumisilip yan sa mga ginagawa ng mga programmer or developer. So there are times na naghahanap sila ng mga ganitong klaseng programmer at saka developer. Okay? So marketable in a sense of we market our services. Not ourselves, guys. Yung services natin. Kasi di ba sabi nila, ma'am, sabi mo po, may product tayo. Lagi tinatanong nila yun. Ano po ba ang product ng mga ICT and other specialized courses? Our services is our product. Kasi hindi naman tayo babayaran eh. When it comes to, like for example, yung mga output natin, di ba? Bakit ba tayo binabayaran ng ating mga employer? Yung skills na pinapakita natin sila when it comes to design, right? Yung pagde-design natin, when it comes to our skills, when it comes to programming, right? So kung paano tayo nakakatulong sa development ng system nila, right? So yun po yung binabayaran sa atin. And that is our products.
Yung nag-upscale sila palagi, ma'am. Ano po?
Correct, ma'am. And sabi ko nga, talaga ang technology is a fast-pacing industry. Ito yung pinakamabilis na industry na talagang mabilis is the fastest technology talaga. Di ba, ma'am? When it comes to the industry. Yes, may question.
Multidisciplinary na tayo. Hindi pwedeng management. Management, parang bookkeeping ka lang eh. Talaga.
Ma'am, actually, even bookkeeping, pwede na rin yan ng mga may mga platform na rin silang ginagamit. Right? May ginagamit na sila.
So, ma'am, wala po tayong question sa ating YouTube. And then, sa ating naman pong chat box, ay parang masayang-masaya po sila. Wala po silang tanong.
I hope I share my knowledge so far.
Ma'am, may tanong sa chat box.
Ay, sige po.
Sige, ma'am.
Nervous ako. Actually, this is my first time to discuss in a big forum. Pang class-based, classroom-based lang talaga ako. Nagulat ako kay ma'am, talagang big pala.
Meron po kayong tanong, Ma'am Lim?
Si Ma'am Flory po may tanong sa chat box, ma'am.
Opo. Yung pong nasagot na po ni Ma'am Fire.
Okay. Okay po.
Pero meron po dito, bago, from faculty, Jonathan Manara. Ma'am, meron po tayong bago. There is also market in machine learning and data science. Ayan, meron po siyang binigay po.
So what is all about the data science and machine learning, ma'am? Kasi medyo deep na po yan when it comes to artificial intelligence po kasi, di ba? So ano po yung question niya when it comes to machine learning? Actually, si NLP po is a machine learning actually. Kaya lang high level, na po siya talaga, high end na po talaga pag sinabi nating machine learning. Kasi when it comes to data set, yung collection of data, like for example, so yung collection of data, so pag sinabi po nating data set is depends on saan po nanggagaling yung data source na gagamitin natin po for our application, right? For example, kagaya ngayon si Google Classroom. Kung mapapansin niyo po, may mga collaborative when it comes to not only Google Classroom, si Edmodo po. Yung kanyang library, kasi di ba kung mapapansin niyo po, merong mga naka-embed po na library si Edmodo, wherein we are collaborating with other teachers, other database, mga online resources natin, naka-collaborative po tayo eh. Hindi lang mutkit gamit natin yung LMS na Edmodo, doon lang po tayo naka-focus. Marami pong nagpi-feed na ibang, information and tools po doon sa Edmudo na pwede nating makuha as a resources doon po sa classroom natin. So, kagaya po ng tanong when it comes to machine learning, at saka ano pa po yung isa, high level na po talaga siya. So, yung dataset naman po, depende po kung anong klase po yung gagamitin natin sa ating dataset. Kung ito ay extracting from other source, pwede naman din po so far. So, ito pong mga cloud-based na po ito. Alam ko, collaborative na po rin to eh. Kagaya ng kanina, yung mga plug-in natin. Kung mapapansin niyo po, open source yung mga resources nun. When it comes to the button, when it comes to the design, when it comes to the navigation bar, lahat po siya open source na. Right? So, actually, hindi lang po si Figma ang kasi like for example, si Figma po kasi is more on the prototype design na pwede natin gamitin for our mobile application development. So syempre, kung gusto po talaga natin mag-develop ng mobile, syempre i-connect po natin siya when it comes to the database, which is cloud-based din po siya dapat. And not only that, syempre, kasi design lang po. Ito po yung tinatawag natin front-end yung ating prototype design sa mobile application. So para magamit natin siya, ma-enhance natin talaga siya, marami po tayong pwedeng gamitin when it comes to other source. Yung mga API na yan, di ba po ma'am? Yung like for example, Google Map, Google Earth, yan, GPS, technology, ano po, lahat po yan, pwede natin po. So, papasok na po talaga lahat yan. Yan, kagaya si Siri, yung mga voice recognition, ano pa po, yung mga voice assistant natin, depende kung anong klaseng platform po yung gagamitin natin. Sana po nasagot ko yung tanong po, yung question po. Kasi sabi ko nga po sa inyo, napakagandang pag-aralan talaga, especially our students, kung talagang mag-enhance lang talaga sila ng knowledge, napakaganda po ng technology. Yun nga, kagaya sabi ng machine learning, kasi more on computer science na po yan eh. Papasok na dyan sa business analytics, business intelligence, papasok na po talaga, di ba po? So, yun po yan.
Yeah, thank you very much po, ma'am. Meron po dito. Salamat daw po, sabi ni Sir Marana. At sabi po na meron din po tayo dito again from DCET22. Mr. Coronel Audric Tudor. Okay, sabi po niya, ma'am, for IoT po, is it solely for internet use? Hence the name. Not sure daw po kung reliable to dito sa Pilipinas since it is low connection.
Actually, ginagamit na to. Nung nag-propose ako, kwento na lang din. When I do my proposal when it comes to masteral, so si Figma yung isa sa ginamit ko when it comes to my design. So ano naman siya, reliable naman siya. Kasi when I connected it with my database, so kinonect ko siya with my database because my topic is more on Google Classroom. Yun kagaya sinasabi na data sets. Kasi since kumbaga, enterprise kasi si Google Classroom my requirements is to gather data dun sa mga usage ng faculty when it comes to the Google Classroom for evaluation purposes, right? So, ginamit ko si Google Classroom and I use one plugin or data sets to extract kung sino yung mga teachers, kung ilang estudyante yung gumagamit ng Google Classroom for the evaluation of teacher, yung rating nila, para malaman ng university kung talagang nagtuturo, kung ilang quizzes yung ina-upload ng mga teachers para may activities online yung mga estudyante. So, I really, on my own experience, Figma is good kasi more on prototype design lang naman talaga siya. So pagka nakagawa ka na ng design sa Figma, pwede mo na siyang i-download and i-connect mo na siya whatever. Like for example, gusto mong gamitin siya sa Android Studio, design mo na yun eh. Hindi na yung makukuha ng Figma eh. So kung nandun na siya, ilalapat mo lang naman siya dun sa mismong mobile device mo as your emulator, guys. I hope na medyo okay naman yung discussion ko when it comes to technical term. So ito yung emulator natin na gagamitin natin dun sa mobile device natin. So that's the time for us to i-connect yung emulator natin para maging functional siya. So, ibig sabihin, like yung ginawa ko kanina when it comes to prototype design of PUP, so may mga drop-down box siya, di ba? Like for example, admission. So, syempre, kung ako gagamit nung PUP application, gusto ko nakikita ko pag kinlik ko si admission, lilipat siya ng page. So, dapat interactive siya, di ba? So, from the emulator, si emulator kasi magpapagana dyan ng mobile device eh. And then, kaya ko sinasabi yung cloud-based, yung internet kasi, yung question mo, Miss Trisha, when it comes to the internet, sabi niya, nag-support ba siya ng programming? Yes, actually, yun yung unang-una kong sinabi kanina, di ba? Si Figma kasi is more on CSS, HTML. Meron siyang konti, kasi more on design lang naman to ha, guys. Yung sa pagde-design sa Figma. Pero syempre, kung gagamitan mo na siya ng database, like for example, i-connect mo siya kay Firebase para may database ka na, so ibang language pa rin yung gagamitin mo kay Firebase. Gagamitan mo siya ng Kotlin, right? Kasi yun yung sinasabi na ngayon. So from Figma, the prototype design, ipapasok mo siya sa emulator ng mobile devices mo. From there, para maging interactive siya. Diba? Gusto mo kasi naka-online siya, i-connect mo siya sa web hosting. So that's the time for you na dapat gagamit ka na ng ibang language. Pero si Figma is using a CSS scripting language and HTML lang. Madali lang siya para sa design. Prototype lang kasi siya. Okay?
Okay po, ma'am. Ayan. Baka meron pang gusto magtanong.
Question pa tayo?
Medyo late po yung sa sa ating YouTube.
I think medyo interesting sila talaga kasi this is mobile development na process when it comes to the design, tapos yung connecting, integration from database. So talagang interesting sila. So kumbaga iniisip na nila kung paano sila mag-start mag-develop ng isang mobile application.
Thank you so much po, Ma'am Pyra. Sige po. So, dahil wala na po silang tanong. Ayan.
Meron pang tanong from YouTube.
Meron pa.
Opo.
Sige
May
po,
possibilities po ba na AI will replace manpower? Bali mga robots na po yung mag-work instead of humans?
Okay, that's a good question actually. Siguro, hindi naman ma-replace yung human kasi tayo rin naman ang gumagawa ng robot. And it doesn't mean na pag sinabi natin robotics, like what I've said yung sa discussion ko, si AI kasi into different phase, different siya kagaya ng augmented reality. Actually, it also help the human para magtrabaho, di ba? Like for example, hindi mo sinabing artificial intelligence, robot look na siya. So depende kung anong klaseng AI yung gagamitin ng manufacturing company, but it really helps the business, right, to get an accurate result of whatever products and services na gusto nilang ibigay sa kanilang mga kliyente. Kasi using AI, guys, or robotics, like for example, sabi ko nga sa inyo, di ba, kung available lang si Amazon, di ba? Marami tayong nakikitang mga interesting products from Amazon. Kung pwedeng dumating dito si Amazon Prime Air, why not? Right? So, hindi siya pwedeng pumalit. Instead, siya yung makakatulong sa atin when it comes to si technology kasi is supporting factors and what they call this, supporting sila sa atin when it comes to our task as human. Hindi sila pwede mag-replace, right? So, yun lang yung sagot ko. Kasi alam mo naman ng mga estudyante, when it comes to robotics, pag nakakita sila ng mga robots, humanoid, di ba? Uy, wala na tayong trabaho. But kung pag-aaralan mo at titignan mo, we are into AI generation already. Napalitan ba ang mga tatay nyo sa trabaho? Or even, it makes us, it gives us employment in the same time. Diba? Nagbibigay natin, especially in the manufacturing company. Kung mapapansin nyo, mas nag-boost nga yung kanilang production kasi mas mabilis eh. And they give accurate result. Diba? Kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, when it comes to simulation and Toyota, so gumagamit sila ng AI instead of road testing, di ba? Yung speedometer nila. So nakikita nila yung mga tawag dito, yung mga mali nila when it comes to their testing because of AI. Nakakapag-simulate sila. Even airplane, yung mga piloto natin, guys, nagsasimulate yan kesa during the simulation, di ba? Hindi naman sila, yung iba nagpapatakbot sila ng actual na airplane or helicopter. But there are some companies na gusto nila mag-simulation. Nagsasimulate sila and they are using AI. So simulation is very good, right? And because less, ano yan eh, ang tawag dito, less mistake, 100% accurate talaga. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Agree with you. Sana po, meron pa po ba tayong mga question, Ma'am Miss Villegas?
Sa chat box, ma'am, meron pong nagtanong.
May bago po ba?
Opo. Nasagot na ba ito, ma'am, from DCEP22?
Opo.
For IoT po?
Opo. Tapos na po.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you din po. Kasi ma'am, yung pag napag-uusapan po natin yung women in science and technology, no? Parang epitome na po rin si Ma'am Pyra, kasama na siya sa Institute of Technology. Noong pong panahon ng mga 1670s, 70s, mga ganyan, yung naalala po natin, yung astronomer, German astronomer, nagsisimula na rin po noon ang mga kababaihan, ano? Margareta, something like that, Maria Margareta Kirch. Siya na yung isang German astronomer. Sa ating kaya mga Pilipino, sino pa kaya pwede nating ma-share sa mga makabagong kababaihan? Bukod doon sa ating, aside sa ating history ng mga revolutionary women na nag-participate sa mga development ng women's rights, things like that. So, ang gender and development po ngayon, yan. Kasama na rin po tayo sa science, technology, engineering. So, punong-puno na tayo ng skills, mama. Hindi na tayo, mawawala ng trabaho. Marami pong trabaho. Huwag lang po tayong mamimili.
Correct, ma'am. And like what we said, yung marketable, yung word na marketable, di ba? So we make ourselves marketable.
Take away, Ma'am Pyra.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So, napakaganda po nitong lecture na ito.
Sana na-disseminate ko siya ng maayos. Actually, medyo talagang naninervous pa rin ako.
For introductory po. Lalo na sa ating mga non-IT.
Yes, that's correct. Actually, sabi ko nga sa inyo, maraming platform para sa inyo. Hindi lang pang IT to. So, explore lang natin. Even yung pag-develop ng website eh. Actually, gusto ko nga magturo sa management yeah, that's correct. Kasi, meron ng mga website na pwede na lang gawin, na hindi sila magpo-program, di ba? So, madami talaga, guys. And they can use it for their, like for example, if you want to market their craft, madali lang naman siya.
Sana next semester meron na rin pong research on ang topic din po about gender and development. Paggawa po ng mga system ng mga bata. Ma-incorporate na rin po na.
Tama yan, ma'am.
Yan. So we're encouraging our students na hindi lang mga pa-innovation, yung mga treatment or solutions or yung mga issues regarding gender and development para malaman natin kung ano yung mga issues na meron pa dyan sa mga maliliit nating micro establishment or micro organizations that are existing. Baka pwede na i-consider ng ating mga estudyante yan sa kanilang research studies.
Correct, ma'am.
Bilang pasasalamat po, ma'am, sa inyo pong serbisyo. Yan. Bibigyan po namin kayo ng ating pong token of appreciation. Let me call on Miss Gina Lee, ating pong president ng Institute of Technology. Ma'am Gina. Ayan, si Ma'am Gina.
Administrative and Faculty President.
Thank you po, Ma'am. Add pa. Shortcut. Sige po, Ma'am Gina, I can read na po ang citation.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Pyra. Ma'am Salosa, good afternoon. Yes, very interesting topic. Salamat po. Good afternoon sa lahat, sa ating mga student and mga faculty na dumating from different colleges, and also sa mga nanonood sa YouTube. Magandang hapon. All right, let me read the certificate. Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Institute of Technology. This certificate of appreciation is hereby given to Assistant Professor Marisol D. Pyra in grateful acknowledgement of her engagement and insightful academic contribution as resource speaker with the topic Application, Development, and Emerging Technology in the webinar series Promoting Gender Equality in Technical, Vocational, Education and Training, TVET, via Zoom on September 13, 2021. Given this 13th day of September 21 at the Institute of Technology and DC Compound, Foresa Street, Santa Mesa, Manila, Philippines. Signed, Dean Ramir M. Cruz and Dr. Emmanuel C. de Guzman, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Congratulations, Ma'am Pyra. Thank you very much.
Salamat po.
Salamat po.
Ma'am Pyra, maraming salamat po. At
Thank you, ma'am.
salamat
Photo off po tayo, ma'am.
Pwede na po nating open ang ating pong mga camera for our picture taking. So technical po, paki-count naman po. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga participant this day. Nanggaling po sa iba't ibang departamento ng PUP, ang ating pong mga estudyante. Meron po tayong 211 participants as of this afternoon. Sa iba pa po yung nasa YouTube, ano?
Yes, tama, ma'am.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikipag-isa for your cooperation. And tomorrow po, meron
Thank you so much.
Meron pa rin po tayo tomorrow. Mag-start pa rin po tayo at 9 a.m. Tama po ba tayo? Technical? 9 a.m. But we'll be opening for registration as early as 8 o'clock or 8:30.
8:30. Yes, ma'am.
So tomorrow we will have more speakers. Miss Ruby Mendoza from Anthrax, Engineer Edna Arojado, and Engineer Gerard Fan. So we will be continuing ang ating pong mga gender and development talk issues. Okay
Hello
na po. May counting na po ba tayo?
May 5 slides po tayo.
Okay.
First slide po. 1, 2, 3. Next slide po. 1, 2, 3. Third slide po. 1, 2, 3. Fourth slide po. 1, 2, 3. Then last slide po. 1, 2, 3. Okay na po.
Thank you very much. Technical.
Ma'am, yung exit evaluation,
Opo.
posted sa chat box.
Okay, naka-post na po ba ulit? Ano na lang po. Post po
Pati
natin.
sa
ulit.
Zoom po.
Saka po sa chat box, yung ating pong exit evaluation for today. Technical, pakilagay rin po dun sa ating chat box. May i-grab naman po nila. Okay, and sana po lahat po tayo nakapagpila po ng attendance for today. Okay? Maraming salamat po. As of now, magpapaalam lang po kami ng panandalian sapagkat bukas po natin ipagpapatuloy ang ating pong iTech webinar series on gender and development. Meron po ba tayong ABP? Wala na po.
Wala na po, ma'am. Yung ano na lang.
Okay. Ayan na po. Andito na rin po yung ating exit survey sa ating pong chat box. Maraming salamat po sa lahat po ng ating naging resource speaker ngayong araw nito.
Thank you po.
Professor Louis Montemar, Attorney Leo Ray Almero, and Professor Michael Ipaira. Maraming salamat po. Kami po ay magpapaalam na at nagpapasalamat po ang aming Dean, si D. Ramir M. Cruz. Bagamat wala po siya sa ating screen ngayon, nakamonitor naman din po siya sapagkat busy lang din po tayo sa mga activities natin sa main office. Although, andyan po siya. From Engineer Ramir M. Cruz. I'm sorry. Thank you po. Maraming salamat po. Buhat po sa aming pamilya ng Institute of Technology. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Paiwan na lang po ng tech team. Pakat na po yung live.